I'm Nick Mara, and this is After the Turns. Welcome to another edition. I think I was counting today. I think it's like episode 13 or 14. I don't know how that's physically possible, but another edition of After the Turns, a post-Atlanta edition of After the Turns. And we actually, I guess we just learned this. We're not supposed to talk before we get on the podcast per Matt. I'm supposed to say this, but our guest today, his hometown is Atlanta. So what a fitting time to have Grant on the show, Grant Davis, along with Matt, obviously, and then Danson, who was in the Mara Motorsports Discord yesterday. The rumors were probably swirling. We'll talk about that in a moment. But Grant, how are you this evening?
Good. We've already started off with a mistake. I live close to Atlanta. That's not my hometown, though.
Okay.
Close.
But to be fair, I do actually live in Chicago now. But when Matt and I grew up about an hour north of the suburbs, we would just say Chicago because it was the easiest thing to say when people would ask where we're from. So that's what I'm going to go with. I was basically right. We know you live close to the Alabama side, all of that stuff. I guess we'll get into that. We can't get into it now because we got to talk a little bit about the Atlanta races, not Grant's hometown. And I guess it's becoming a trend at this point. I'm going to go first again. You hate to see it.
Has it getting old yet? Yeah.
It's getting super old, actually. But, I guess we'll talk a little bit about it because I think when practice was going on, I got a little bit of a draft in practice, but I, with my new number 40, went straight to the top of the board. I'm sure everyone was just so surprised, so happy. The compliments were flowing in. Everyone else, I don't think anybody knew what was going on when that happened. I was pretty shocked. And I told Matt right before I hit the line, I was like, this is going to be a good lap. I just didn't know it was going to be first. I ended up tying Brandon, who won the race. So obviously greatness exists, just not in the finishing position. Qualified just a typical 26th, some bullshit in the back, and I was like, this is probably going to crash by lap 10, so I get to have an early dinner, and I did get to have one because I crashed myself. But before that happened, my goodness, what a start to the race! Every start of the race for me is a Jeff Gordon restart out of fear. So I always lose a couple spots just so I don't get wrecked. And then, I don't know, I didn't watch enough of the broadcast to know if they brought it up, but I started passing all of these really good people. It was super intense. I passed Adam de Blasio. I passed David Washington. I mean, I went up from, it was 29th to 17th, and there was no signs of slowing down. I was fast. I lost the Discord, but I was like, hey guys, I'm freaking fast. I'm passing people. This is amazing. And I don't know, they may have brought something up on the broadcast about it. I don't know if they did, but I was gaining. And then I caught Liam, and Liam finished 5th, and we're so proud of him, but my goodness, I think I battled him for probably half the laps I was in the race. I don't know how he kept control.
I think he's still bitter. He's still bitter from the Open where I got into him a little bit. I think he brought it up last week during the chat.
No, there was no bitterness for me.
No, Mara Motorsports bitter.
It was my fault.
I got into him. He was, racing you more aggressively because of it. So
I don't believe
it either. I don't believe it.
The thing is, the thing about that whole race, even the first half I was in, and it looked like it was that way throughout the whole field. Sorry, I can hear myself.
It looked like it was that way throughout the whole field.
Nope. Sorry, I needed to get on the Twitch, and I wanted to hear myself talk. It was just really intense. Guys, I did not sound really good right there. I was very cringeworthy. It was really intense. I wanted people to stop battling me. I know, Grant, I don't know, you probably cursed me out. There was one time where I just off turn 2 threw a monster block on you, and you got out of the gas and didn't wreck. And I thought we may. You probably don't remember that because there was just so much going on. But every lap, I just wanted to run by myself, not around other people. And it never happened. And I know Liam, I messaged him afterward because I was just super impressed that he finished 5th, because for the first half of that race, it did not look like he looked out of control every lap. Yeah, I don't know if you've got the replay, Matt.
Yeah, we'll go to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See. Yeah. Yeah. Liam and I are definitely good. I see in this situation. Yeah. So first of all, what a save. Throw that in a GIF because holy smokes. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that save.
Wow.
Look at
You're
that.
putting the inside wall there. Yeah.
Man, I thought my race was over. That was a really tough situation. I think it looked like Liam kind of drifted up into me, but that's not really how I saw it. Like when I was driving, I thought it just so for me and I was talking to Matt yesterday. I had a come to Jesus moment. That tray setup with a 55-inch TV is not going to work anymore because we just race. I'm actually, even though I'm wrecking every week, I'm getting more into the midfield, and it's just I have no reference point as to where people are.
It looks to me that Liam just wrecked you.
I did see, I could see through my peripheral. I did see him just turn it to the right, and then all of a sudden I was just barely hanging on. It was very confusing. No,
I'm just trying to see on the replay. I think you can just see the hands they just do start to turn.
I think I saw a middle finger out the window there. So what actually happened here? I can't see how close I am to the wall. So I gave a little bit of space, and I don't if I could have seen looking back, I would have given myself probably 6 inches closer to the wall, and there's no contact there. So that's my personal opinion of it. This and what happened later in the race is why. So it looks like he probably drifted up into me, but it's because I didn't give enough room for him to come up the track like normally you would, because I can't see how far away I am from the wall, and I didn't want to overcorrect it, hit the wall and come back, which I basically did that anyway later. But that's kind of weird, right? I guess that we're not. You know what? When you basically run the show, you could decide not to play that replay, and we're not going to play the wreck replay. But everyone needed to see that. So yeah, that's kind of what happened there. Then I fell back and somehow saved it. After that, the tires were gone there. You could see the smoke. You could see the smoke in iRacing. The tires are shot, right? So they kind of where the caution came out, and then I was just kind of drifting around 25th, and Jared got under me, and I did the exact same. I mean, I just couldn't see. We were just so close to each other, even on the straightaway, and then hit that small bump, which is a lot more intense in the Xfinity cars, and it just kind of shot me in the wall and across the track. And that would not have happened if I had a reference point and I knew I had more to the bottom. So super dumb. I think by Watkins Glen, I'm going to have a new setup. So that's basically what my goal is at this point, because it's just not feasible to run with people that close. Official races are very different. Official races, you guys race way too close, and it's just way too intense to race on that kind of trade table that I have. If you're going to run 20th to 25th every week, which is not even I'm happy with it, but it's just hard to race around people. And that was
the battles were intense. I mean, they were two. I was telling Danson on the radio, they're 2 by 2 by 2, 4 back, 10, 15 laps into the run, running for 20th place. It was a lot of fun to watch. They panned to me at one point. They went in my in card, and they're like, "Look at this gaggle of cars in front of Mara." And there was the battle. It was a lot of fun to watch. And I'll get to my turn, but honestly, I'm one of the rare people who thought it was great racing. So we'll get to it. The product was great from a viewer standpoint, back in the back and running slowly, and I guess having minimal amount of damage in the end. So, and I saw Nick, I saw you up there, and I was like, we lost you on the Discord because we lose you on the Discord every week. It just kicks you while we're talking. But I saw you were a good 3 seconds ahead of me, which meant you were 15 cars ahead of me at the beginning, and you were fast. I don't think you've given yourself enough credit. You gained, I think, 13 spots before you had that issue in the first 30 laps, and you were making a lot of your moves on the long run. It wasn't you using up the tires early and getting past people. So I think the talent's obviously there, and a new setup will certainly help you with the close racing with the 1.5 mile tracks especially.
Yep, agree. So we're done with me.
Hey, Nick.
Yes.
Nick. As far as you with your new setup, have you considered getting Matt to hook you up with the VR and the motion rig and everything, and you guys can set it up both at his house and you both race together from the Mara arcade?
Ooh.
So I am on a triple setup right now. So
you're on triples
I
now.
have my rig right here, right? And then I have 3 monitors that I'm working on right now for the show, live time. So this could certainly be used for racing. So I mean, I have it. That is the dream at some point. I need another computer to run it. But Nick does have a lot of my stuff already. He has a lot of my old stuff. So I raced an RSR last year. Nick has my seat that I used last year, and he has my Oculus Rift CV1 from last year. So he does have some of the stuff already, and you are using my computer that I used last year before I built a new one. So maybe we just got to get you set up on that stuff.
You guys are like an actual team where, like, as the team builds a new chassis, they pass the old one down to the second driver until they can really build resources and whatnot. So,
exactly. We're running. We're a team running 2 different manufacturers because we barely get the pieces together. That's exactly what it is. I don't know if the car is gonna make it. Yeah, it's very OG. Some really good comments in the chat. I am gonna bring the trade table to Evans actually. So the trade table will get more use out of it. I figure I can get the OG setup for him so they can really see what. And we're just gonna say it now. What I won the Clash in. We'll just recreate the moment, trade table and all. So I was thinking, and maybe if we know a guy who could hook me up with a new like Logitech setup for discounted or free pricing. I don't know if we know a guy who can give me all that new stuff, potentially for free, or just like a 3 to 5 race sponsorship. We sell it cheap down here, Danson. We sell it cheap. It's pennies on the dollar.
Ask for the VRS stuff. Don't go for Logitech. Ask him for VRS.
Oh yeah, Grant, it's been a 13.
He's not ready for that.
I'm not ready for a VRS, like a training session from you. You're right. That's why he ignores my DMs.
No, he means the wheel and pedals.
Oh, well, I mean, I think I'm ready for that. I'm gonna fly to Australia and I'm gonna play on your rig, and I'm gonna somehow pick up like 13 seconds on a road course, and then we'll know it was never dancing the whole time. This is why he doesn't need to practice. The rig's doing all the work.
I love the classic Nick Mara thing to do is just invite yourself to everyone's house.
One of these days, I'm going to do it from someone. Like instead of when we have the guests, I'm just going to fly out to their homes, and we're just going to do it from there. Yeah.
Yes, Grant. Just say Atlanta. Don't give us any more specifics. Yeah, exactly. I know you corrected Nick earlier.
I've already on Florida Georgia line. I've got Florida Georgia line. So Grant, next time you're on, I'll figure it out. I'll just go up and down the state border until I find your motion ring. Anyway, I'm done. Shitty last place finish. Very, very close to that. I really wanted to get a car number matching my finishing position, but 43 people showed up, so I finished 43. Yeah,
close.
You hate to see it. Close. I know. I was 4th in practice though, so that was like half of the number.
That was a win. You were done at that point. Yeah.
I want to make another number. I'm going to stop talking after this. I want to make another number change. If I could do it again, I might request 50 just to get the invert of Danson's. That's what I want.
True. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I know. I thought about doing it. That will really spark the rumors.
One thing I know for sure, Nick, is that there's a new number going on the fridge based on that performance because it dropped like a rock, so it has to be ice cold. So
me? I'm ice cold?
The 40 is not having a good start to the season, that's for sure.
The 40 can only go up from here. Yeah, well, that's yeah, you're right. I didn't even think I had to make my number because I didn't think I couldn't be any colder. So
yours has to be permanently in the freezer.
I mean, if I was never hot, how could I ever be getting cold?
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. And Nick, I hate to break it to you, Liam's brought up a great point. The 50 is taken already. Unfortunately, we might have to buy it.
Well, there's one thing we know Mara Motorsports will do is we're in an arms battle with Kaczynski. Does he want that number too?
We're gonna discuss that. No, we're gonna discuss that.
I know.
After we get through the race. We're gonna discuss what is XPM or XMP or
you got our XPM, Extreme Performance Motorsports, and their takeover of RSR. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah. We'll get it.
All right, stay tuned. Okay. we're done. Let's go to Grant. Grant, like I said, well, we love your number, first of all. Love every paint scheme you've had. Again, I blocked you. I know I blocked you pretty hardcore, so thank you for not wrecking us both early. How was your race? How did you finish? I don't think you know. Terrible.
I don't even know. I was so mad. I turned the computer off and haven't thought of it. Well, I've thought about it, but I don't know. That's the worst race I've had in the league. It was just a terrible experience. I told Sam before I came on here, I was like, I can't decide if I want to be Jimmy Johnson or Tony Stewart tonight when I'm venting my thoughts.
Jimmy Johnson was known as boring and vanilla, even though he was Danson's favorite, which is just ironic.
He's the best.
I know he's the best, but because you're the best. Okay, of course, yeah.
Quick question before I even get started, Matt. Are you an Almirola fan, or is that just?
I am an Eric fan. It's been a very disappointing journey. Why?
Though? I mean, he's a nice guy.
Yeah. So this is a hard one. So, back in the early 2000s, I was very into Tony Stewart. I was a fan of his since '99 and had followed Joe Gibbs. So I was also I just picked all the wrong developmental drivers. So I hate Denny Hamlin because he took the ride of the 11 from J.J. Yaley, who I was a huge fan of. And then Eric Almirola was one of their development drivers, and he ran pretty well in his first couple truck races. And so I became a fan. And he had consistently been maybe somebody who did not run well enough. He didn't win. And then he finally, after many, many years, he got some truck series wins. I think we might have brought it up at some point in one of the older podcasts, but Nick and I were at Milwaukee when he led the first 60 laps and got taken out of the car and got the win in the Xfinity series. And he had really had a history of not winning in NASCAR.
He still does. He still does.
He's a very now it's been 15 years. I've been a fan, and it's difficult because I am an Eric fan because I've been a fan and I made a bad choice a long time ago. But he is not fun to watch at all. Like, there's nothing to really enjoy about it. His driving style leaves much to be desired. He's Jeff Gordon on the restarts, and he doesn't have any other speed to make up for it. And he is kind of a vanilla driver in general. So I'm a fan because I made a decision a long time ago to be an Eric Almirola fan, and I've kind of just sat in it, unfortunately. I'm also a Houston Texans fan for the same reason. So I made very many bad choices when I was younger, and Eric is one of them. He did give me the Talladega win in 2018, which I lost my mind during, which was fantastic. But other than that, it's been mostly disappointing. But, I guess that year, 2018 was a good year for Eric. So I had that much more than I ever thought he'd do. But, yes, that's why. Bad choices as a younger Joe Gibbs fan.
I got you. Well, I was a Gordon fan and I was a Patriots fan growing up. So I'm the complete opposite of what
you never lost. Yeah,
so,
there you go.
Oh, yeah, I'm a Jeff Gordon fan as well. I think we should know that.
I'm a temporary Tampa Bay Bucks fan because Brady, I wore 12 when I played football. And Brady's only got a few years left, so I'm going to enjoy it. But I'm hoping Mac Jones is going to help New England or something. I don't know. New England may be the new Houston. Who knows? But we had a good run. But I guess back to my race.
We did not.
It was not fun.
You don't want to talk about it. It was that bad. Yeah.
Right before the race.
He's pulling a Nick Mara deviation. Yeah. Talk about everything but the race. Yes.
No, okay. I'll stay focused now. So I was excited for Atlanta. Like it's my favorite mile and a half. It's my favorite track. I ran A-Fix and I was like, this is not going to be good. It felt like there was a grip strip up top, and it was very it wasn't super tight, but it was way tighter than I like. I like a loose car. So anyways, I was like, well, we're going to be doing a great value version of pack racing. So that's kind of how it turned out to be. In practice, I ran a lap by myself with no draft. ran a 31 flat. And I was like, oh, that's going to be a pole lap. Let's go out there and do it again. Tried to do it again. I got greedy, messed up, started 32nd. I was like, okay, well, I don't trust a lot of people in the league. I'm just going to stay in the back and wait for the big one. The big one never happened that first run. And then I started getting mad at people. Not really mad. I was just mad at the package. I was like, dang, I can't make the bottom work without pulling a slide job, and I don't want to make nobody mad.
Hey, that was Lamb for 35 laps, and it worked out pretty well for him. So.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just thought, okay,
shots
well,
fired.
I'll just take
There
my
you go.
time.
No, I'm fine with it.
I never got to the front. I know I about got killed racing for 30th multiple times. I think I finally got up to 17th. Then they almost wrecked again. I lost all my spots avoiding the wreck, and I was like, man, this is just going to be one of those nights. And I know how frustrating like Pocono was because it was hard to pass unless you got up to the top. And I was able to come up to like 6 with a tore up car, and I was like, I'm just going to do it again at Atlanta. Nope, I got destroyed. And what was bad is I had dodged 2 wrecks, and I think finally the third one, there was like a big one on the back stretch. I went all the way to the inside wall, and David Washington was trying to avoid it as well. Like we were next to each other, and like Joe Yakes and somebody else came down right in front of him, and we just had no room, and me and him collided.
I think you were in this one with
cars,
me.
so.
I think I have it. I think we were in the same accident. I was going to save it for us, but I think you were in this one too. So I don't really know what happened with Joe there.
Oh, no. Oh, you hate to see that.
So I slowed down in the
and then I'm right behind you. I'm right behind you. I got some good damage in this one too.
And then I got destroyed. That was like 4 minutes worth of damage.
Really?
And I was like, well, I'm just going to lose more points.
You look pretty good here. Like, it doesn't even look that bad. I look like I got a bunch of front-end damage after this. And I had 12 seconds of damage.
To be fair, Matt, you did also say when Nick was in his wreck, you said, oh, that's cool. He got out of that perfectly clean. He's got no damage at all.
Yeah, I was like, what in the world? Yeah, he's like, you got no damage. I'm like, I got 5 minutes of repair, and my car is down.
Look at my front end. My front end looks all sorted and stuff. And somehow that was 12 seconds.
Maybe I think what the problem is Matt is so used to having damage that now it's just like having damage is just a clean car. So like 2 minutes is just fine.
Oh, I saw you there. So I thought you were talking about the like where I got into you at the very end, but you took a very hard hit into the inside wall. So yes, understand you had a lot more damage than I did.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to give us credit, we waited till this was somewhere towards the end. Like I really thought
it was like 20 to go
within the first 2 turns. Honestly,
yeah.
Like I just figured people would be aggressive, but it didn't work out. It was a bad night, and move on to New Hampshire, which is I don't like. I typically do okay at New Hampshire, but I don't like it either. Which as long as I get a good finish, I don't really care if I like it. So. But yeah, there's nothing much more for me to say about Atlanta. It was just a bad experience. Honestly, like I've been upset about the whole Atlanta repave, but honestly, after last night, if it at least we know going into it we're pack racing, maybe we can push each other by and push to the front like Daytona, unless they ruin that draft package too.
Yeah. Funny thing is, I maybe it's because there was more draft. I had so much fun racing everyone. I see some of the people in that wreck, and I'm like, I raced with all of those people, so there's no way I would have been in that wreck. Joe Yakes and I was just like, please, for the love of God, get off my right rear in the corners. Like, stop diving it in so far. I just want some space. There were a couple of others as well. David Washington. I think when I fell back, I was like, please just go. I don't want to bother you. It was, I got so impatient, Grant, because I thought they were going to wreck on the first lap too, that I wrecked myself because I got hungry and I was just like, I'm done. I can't wait anymore for the wreck. I'm just going to wreck myself now. That must have been essentially what happened.
That's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. So Matt, I guess, Matt, Danson gets to go next. So, wow.
Well, I'll go last. It's all good.
Wow. What happened? What happened? I feel like you were. Imagine if I ran the 4 race.
Huh?
Imagine if I ran the 4
race. Should we just keep cycling back to your race every so often? Okay.
Yeah, I know. I do.
My race was probably a similar. I had similar sentiment to Grant as far as just it wasn't enjoyable at all. So the mistake I keep making is rolling into these races without any prep. So it seems like everyone else is doing A fixed and NIS and all that beforehand. Whereas I just rock up on the night and I'm like, I do my 5 laps and then I do quali, and I just keep doing laps during quali to try and learn the track in that phase as well, and then see how we go. So perhaps I've got to do a bit more preparation. This week I'm going to take notes of on the Brandon Bowie race facts. I'm going to write all those down.
5 with Bowie, yeah. Pay attention this time, yeah.
See if they can get me the dub. But yeah, so that was upsetting. But I don't know. I went out there in quali and I wasn't sure if it was the first lap or the second lap was the fast lap. But I just put down a lap that I thought was okay. Although I felt like I underdrove turn 1 and 2, and then I overdrove 3 and 4 because I was getting scared. And had a pretty average quali, and then was moving up through the field. But again, same sort of deal as what Grant was saying. Just you couldn't really make anything happen on the bottom. You had to just run the top, doing the big steam train sort of thing. And then I don't know. That to me, that's not super exciting. Just momentum sort of racing like that. But got up to the top 5 for a little while, and then Sam wrecked me. And wait, what's untrue? What are you saying? Oh, okay. I need to address Sam here for a second. So he's adamant that he's adamant that he was making the bottom work. Now I went back and watched the race because I was like, let's have a look at this. Now he was making the bottom work if he was like going the Mara Motorsports route of losing 10 positions every run. Like he was definitely making that work. But he was not making it work.
I gained 13 positions the first run. Should we just go back and rewatch my in-car from lap 1 to lap 30? Would you like that?
No, it's all good. It's all good. Actually, that would be fun. That should be like a supplemental sort of downloadable content that people can get after the stream.
Yes. Well, in order to hit our affiliate status, first we need 50 followers. So follow us if you're listening. And second, we need to stream on 7 days in a month. So we'll maybe we fill it in with some supplemental material like that. We'll have Nick driving through the path. Nobody ever saw it. So just to prove that it happened.
Yeah, at least we got back to Nick's race. That's the most important thing. But anyway, if you don't mind, Nick,
the other piece I just wanted to say is that Sam did maybe he did an excellent job of holding the bottom, but he did not do an excellent job driving through the tri-oval. So Matt, maybe you want to talk to us about that.
I got a little excited with the save, but also.
Yeah, this was cool. I actually, this was pretty funny. So like, if anything, I could have been a little bit lower. I don't think there was nothing super drastic that Sam did. I could have been a little bit lower. He did definitely come down, but I could have helped that by being in a better position or a more accommodating position. I knew we were 3 because coming off here, I could see that I already had some damage at this point from the checkup. I think it was Rhett got in the wall and sort of caused a check. So I for whatever reason I was much slower on the straights, so I was getting murdered there, and that's why Sam was all over me. He had no real choice of where to go because he could either follow me and just be stuck or try and make something happen, and that's what he did. But then he just right rear bumper hooked me for some reason. But the save was
I'm slow mowing it for your save here. Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't a Nick Mara save, but holy smokes, I was impressed.
I don't know. Watch this, Nick. So I
saw it.
I chuck it down a gear and just gas it up and keep myself off the wall. Hang on, so I get turned here, and at this point I thought the race was over anyway. So I was pretty okay with my fate. But then it just kind of rebounded off Dylan, and then now I've just shifted down. I'm just gassing the hell out of it, keep it off the wall, and then we do a nice little. So everyone finds their way. I think it's Liam that just finds his way through there. You're welcome, Liam, for getting out the way. And then we straighten it up. Yep, shift it back down to second. Off we go.
Wow,
perfect.
See, you know what? That is some talent. I would have kept it in 4th gear the whole time and probably slammed into 4 other cars. So
you were just right in the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I just turn right and pray. That's exactly it. Hope you don't get according to that, I wouldn't get any damage. So hitting the wall is completely fine.
That's true. Yeah. As long as it's under less than 4 minutes of optional repair is a win in Mara Motorsports book.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you go, 0 minutes of required damage. That's all that matters. You can live to a 49th place.
So I saw you mentioned the damage dancing, but you were because I watched the second half. You were in the top 10. You were pretty decent. Do you think that damage cost you a little bit, or no?
I think everyone in the chat thought we were going to talk about your race again there for a second, but
it was a lot better than mine, so we might as well.
That's right. I think it definitely held me back. I don't know how much of a difference it made. I think I was, even with a clean car, I don't know if I would have got much better than just the outskirts of the top 5. But I mean, then I saw that Wrecking Ball sort of come up there into the top 5 as well. So I guess if he could get there, then I probably could have.
Who was the Wrecking Ball?
That 53. What's his? He's one of the new ones.
Oh,
he was just coming up there and just bodying people out of the way. Hey, Durham. So maybe I could have done a bit better. I don't know, but 90. What do you mean? Daniel was okay. And anyway, so yeah, I feel like I could have probably done okay, but I don't think I would have won. Then again, who knows? It's a
you were pretty negative on the radio. So we were on the radio together after Nick left us. You and I, Dan, said you were pretty negative. But I think it's because you had a little damage, so you were letting that get in your head.
Yeah, that's true.
You could have taken my positivity, and it probably would have given you like 5 more spots.
It might have actually. Matt did try to help G me up, because he said he gave me really good advice. He said just drive as if you don't have the damage. Just put that out of your mind and take that. Get rid of the negative energy and just will it into existence that you don't have damage. Which I mean, yeah, that certainly makes sense, because obviously if you're thinking about
Nick would have done that,
it's just going to bring you down.
If Nick, you would have done that. You had the same issue. You had that accident, like you had the issue with Liam there early, where you made the save and you let it get in your head a little bit after that. So it's certainly, things like that. You lose like 10 spots on the track, you get a little damage. Certainly, that impacts the way you're viewing the race.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Liam, that's a great call. But yeah, so even after that spin, realistically, I annihilated my tires, had a bit more damage, of course, and restarted P10 or P9, I think, which I knew it was not going to go well for me. But as I said to Matt at the time, there's no point pitting, because I'm going to go back to P20, who knows what, and I'm not going to make up those spots anyway. So might as well just sit here and see what happens. And that set us up for a nice little finale where. Matt was just too fast. I saw him coming in the mirror, and he was just too fast and just drove straight by me coming to the line. It was
right off 4 in the trioval. I just gained like a half second on you in the trioval coming to the finish line. It was glorious. Yes. 100% earned that 12th place finish over Danson. I was pretty pumped. I was like, what happened there, Danson? You get loose coming to the finish line on the straightaway there? I don't know, but I was very excited. Danson heard it, and Danson, his immediate question was, is that your best finish? I said, we've been on like 10 episodes already. You should know my best finish this year was at the Bristol Dirt Race, where I finished 8th. So, and I did have a 4th place finish with Talladega last year. So, but very excited.
I thought you were getting a career best. And I was so excited. And yeah, lo and behold, it wasn't. So that was wasteful. But,
So to be fair, it's only my second top 22 of the year in 15 races. 16 actually it is now. So it's been a very difficult season.
You were digging up to that.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah, so I guess I'll talk about my race. So no, I felt really.
It's like Nick's going to interrupt at some point.
Hey, I got a lot I could talk about. I still got a lot. I got like 40 more laps of content in here. But yeah, go ahead. I'm going to hold my tongue. So, you know, Steve just came in the chat. I think he needs to hear about my race. We didn't see each other the whole time. I think he should hear about everything that happened. But anyway, go ahead.
So I started 33rd. I had no expectations. So I ran my first laps in the practice session for the race. Unfortunately, it just seems like every week I don't have time to do any practice, and or I'm spending my time like getting ready for the show, like my free time. So I really do enjoy this. So I feel like the time is better spent because I'm not very good at iRacing, but I enjoy it a lot. I want to be good. So practice was nowhere near Nick's success. I had zero expectations. In qualifying, I had an experience close to Grant, except I think Grant, you were going for the pole and I was just trying to make the race, and I lost it off too because I pushed a little too hard and I was like, I'm going to miss the race. But thankfully, I think one person didn't even qualify, do an attempt. And I was feeling pretty comfortable other than that, and kind of had the expectation that much like Pocono, you know, I'm not going to spend a bunch of time practicing for a race where it's only going to matter if you survive, right? Nick, I watched you do a bunch of practice at Pocono. I watched the same thing happen this week in Atlanta where you did a bunch of practice. You just get caught up in accidents and it doesn't even matter, right? So
it wasn't a bunch of practice. It was a little bit
enough. A few races, as much as I would have gotten in, right? Yeah. So anyways, felt pretty comfortable. At the start, I fell back a little bit. I wasn't trying. I was just trying to save tires, which I'm historically bad at. But I actually did a pretty good job, and I was really fast, like 15 laps in the run. I'm like, maybe I'm finally figuring this out a little bit. And I was about to get a bunch more positions when the caution came out. I strangely felt pretty confident with long run speed. And I think it's because I made a conscious effort to do exactly what Brandon had told us last week, which was hold the bottom. So nobody was holding the bottom in 3 and 4. I was making sure I held the bottom in 3 and 4, and I think it was helping save the tires, even though I was losing a little bit at the beginning of the run. So I felt good about that. I did see a lot of people weren't running the bottom, so I was like, okay, it's certainly easier to run higher in 3 and 4 especially. So, Nick had the issue. I think it was like lap 58, and then I think the next restart within a lap, I was like, of course, Mara Motorsports is going to get taken out here in like 3 laps. I hope they talk about it in the broadcast. I was a little loose on the start. I was a little slow here, so this isn't all telling, but Jaron got in the back of me, and I mean, I think I'm done right here, right? So I get hit pretty hard in the back. Stove runs into me. I'm just slamming on the brakes, praying to God I don't hit anything. There comes Kalis. Stove is a champ. He took that other hit for me, right? So I thought I was done at this point, right? So I was frustrated because I felt like I was okay. I was running in like 27th at this point. And, you know, I think I'm done. Yeah, especially after that hit right there. It looks like Trey Browning had gotten into me after I spun. I thought I was done. There's a couple hits there. And I only had a minute worth of damage here. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll kind of chill.
That's Mara Motorsports damage right there, baby. 1 minute?
Yeah.
The race just started. You're not living until you've got a minute of optional damage.
Yeah.
Down 60 RPM? Okay, baby. Yeah. I'm not spinning out now. That's exactly.
Yeah. And I'll be faster in the turns now.
So did you get loose there, or did he just run you over?
What happened there?
Oh, what? What were you going to say, Nick?
It looked like you got loose and then he hit you.
Really? I didn't think that looked like that.
Play it again.
That's what I thought when I saw the replay on YouTube. But
yeah. So with your inspection there, yes, I was a little loose. So it was the first time I had run the high side in 1 and 2 on the restart, and I did get a little loose. And I think, you know, I don't think this was as cut and dry as maybe the broadcast had made it. Maybe the replay makes it. So unfortunately, Nick, you had to call me out for it. I did get a little loose, but I was going to save it, right? So I did let out of the gas a little bit to catch it. and I got ran over from behind. So I see why it happens. There's certainly no hard feelings towards Jaron. If it's very early in the race to not let out of the gas a little bit, which was, I think, maybe a little bit of my frustration, but I was a little loose before that, so I understand why it happened.
Yes.
You were very different on Discord at the time. That you were not that complimentary.
I was not rude. I was frustrated. I did specifically tell you I was loose. Don't start to try some drama. I was like,
Matt does is crying. He tries to dig out drama. When he saw that Sam and Danson got into it yesterday, he was like, "This is going to be great for the podcast." And look, it wasn't even that intense. Danson, for the first time in his life, took partial blame for something. So, we can't get it. So what were the exact? Do we have a radioactive segment? Did you clip that, Danson, from the Discord of what he was saying about Jared?
We'll need to do that moving forward.
I just put the quote in the. That's what he said. He just shouted
Jason Balder. Okay.
Play on his name. Having said that, we got to get to something as well. I'm happy to see Braden in the chat. We were actually watching a video recently of you, Matt. I can't remember what race it was from though, but it went to an onboard shot of you. It must have been. Was it the Clash? No. You wrecked.
There's not many memorable moments. I'll just say what happens, and I probably know what you're talking about.
So the camera was on you, and you wrecked, and then the motion thing is doing all this. And you're like,
we showed it last week. Yes. So that was at Daytona, the IROC series.
What about the Clash? What about the Clash? I heard the Clash. I heard Daytona. Guys, I won. That was the wrong track. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, glad you cleared that up. Yeah, so it was the IROC Daytona race. I was going for the lead. Dominic lost. I came back up, and it was my first race in the motion rig. And yeah, I bounced all over the place like crazy when I was wrecking. It just added insult to injury. It's like you wrecked going for the win, and you're going to
run even day to day after that rollover, man.
Yeah,
thank God the rig didn't roll over.
Laughing. Braden was genuinely cry laughing watching you get shook around by the motion thing. He just said he thought you were gonna flip over in your room, and that's true. There was one moment where it really it violently sort of hits you, and your arm.
It was violent. Yeah.
It was almost like looking back, as sad, being on the Discord, there was so much pain. In the Discord, but then when you see the video, it's like he's literally just going all over the place while he's so sad.
You would have heard him and just thought that he was getting beaten up, right? Because he would have been going, sort of thing, as that was all going on. Surely, were you winded after that wreck?
Was I winded? No.
He got out of the motion rig. He had to lay down for a minute before the EMTs came to catch his breath.
I'm not going to go. Yeah, I don't know how we're talking about this again, but at the same time, so you see my emotion when Nick won.
Put the window net down. If you put the window net down, let everybody know he was okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened? I was like, it would have been perfect. I guess I'm thankful Hugo didn't show it because he could have gotten it all on camera. But the wreck happened. My car sits still, and I just sat there like this for maybe 2 minutes. In silence. I was just like,
that's sad.
Somebody played
it would have been
small
a great
violin from SpongeBob.
Emotional draw. Yeah. What's up, Graham?
Exactly.
I said someone should play the tiny violin from SpongeBob, when Mr.
Exactly. Or no, what's that? The Titanic music that they play on the memes? When?
Yeah.
Yeah, but make that into
go on.
Yeah, exactly. Matt, you should do that for yourself. That would be really funny. I would actually. If I could do it, I would.
I'll work on it, yes.
Yeah.
So, moving on from our race results, I suppose the next thing to talk about is...
Whoa! I didn't even get to the point where I got to talk about how I finished 12th. I don't get to go last very often. And somehow we got sidetracked. I should have racked, the beginning of the race. I don't even get to finish my 12th place finish. Danza, we spend like 40 minutes when you win a race. So I'll take my 12th place. Finish no milk a little bit. So. Big. Yeah. So anyways, more accidents happened. There was the accident we showed that Grant was in that I got another minute worth of damage. I started 21st on the restart and I passed a bunch of guys with 5 to go. It was awesome. Thanks everyone who accidentally moved out of the way, I guess. And coming off 4. The 05 was really slow and I happened to pass him right at the line. That was pretty great. I was excited with the 12th place finish. I guess the one thing I will say is thank you, Danson. What was super beneficial for me, which Nick and I usually aren't running towards the front, so we can't do this for each other, but Danson was up front, so he was able to tell me when the cars up front were going. So it did help me on restarts, and so I'm sure a lot of you guys who are in teams probably get that pretty often, but it definitely helped me on the last 2 restarts, Danson, when you called out when they were going. So that was super helpful.
You're welcome.
I'll credit that to 26. It really makes no difference, when you call it out.
Yeah.
You're calling out
while you were sitting in the lobby, your brother was out there digging. He was driving up to the field. So
I saw that. I was super impressed.
See, you spoke a lot about your race, and we keep going back to it. But did you ever get up to 12th at any point?
No, because we showed that contact that fell. Matt was better than me yesterday. I was a disaster.
Yeah.
So when I crashed,
so overall I was better, but you were obviously much faster, and you showed it in the first 2 runs when you moved through the field, right? Yeah, so that's what we need to. That's what you need to work on. Your promise is so high because you have the speed. It's just finishing races. And now you're sitting there with 5 penalty points in danger of getting suspended because you can't stop
running. That'll be fun. Yeah, that'll be fun. I can't wait, guys. I'm going to get suspended soon. This is going to be great. New Hampshire, I'm going to go all out because I'm probably not going to race Watkins Glen anyway. So watch out, 24, because here I come.
Why don't you just actually do at least 1 lap of practice and just do the road course race and just see what happens? Why have you got this negative mindset?
Schedule that VRS session with him. There's your free.
Yeah, well, it should be scheduling. Yeah, you're right. I think
actually arrange it because I think. Wait, Grant, were you there when we did? I was with some of your guys for Indy Road during the Winter Series. Were you in that, or were you not in that?
Nope, I was. I've barely practiced all year. I've been so busy with work and stuff. So I get to hear about the sessions. I don't get to partake in them though.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to Mara Motorsports and we did Montreal and we did Indy as well.
Yeah.
What's that team? What's your team called, Grant? It's Flat Out, right?
Well, it depends if I sell it or not. It's Flat Out.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well,
I hear it's negotiations.
But I feel like Mara Motorsports and Flat Out Motorsports, esports, racing, whatever it is, it's like a synergy to the Matt Danson conglomerate. So I'm more than happy to do some laps with you guys for Watkins. I'm not great at Watkins though. But if you just hit me up, just let me know, and we'll do it.
I actually will take you up on that because Hot Girl Summer is taking a break that week, so I will be available. I'll only be out of town 1 day that week. So yes, I will. I would like to actually. I feel like what's going to happen is one day I'm going to be really good at road courses. I can feel it. I'm going to be that might be a stretch, but just moderately average, and I'll be like, this is not as hard as the 15 to 18 seconds off the pace that Sonoma made it seem like it was. So that's we'll talk about that. Now that there clearly is the rumblings and the rumors of a Mara Motorsports Altus Esports merger, I think that we have to keep up the facade dancing for a longer period of time. So yeah, that's what
I think. I think the big rumors right now are with Flat Out Motorsports possibly getting bought out by XPM. So I have added a question in the chat, or I'm trying to. So if you hover over on the right side on Twitch, you should be able to see our polls here. Hopefully it appears. But should Grant sell his team to XPM? We're curious to hear the results.
We got a poll.
We got a poll up. So we're curious to hear your opinions. I know, Grant, that Mike has approached you on that. What are your thoughts? I think if you go on Twitch, you should be able to vote.
I mean, every man has their price. And
wait, what are we talking about?
One Bitcoin.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It's like, whoa.
A few shares of AMC.
Oh, a few shares of AMC? That's a pretty good price. That's a
little bit more if we turn off this chat. I don't want any record of any But
so you are selling the team,
buying, though? What's he gonna buy?
What's he get? You're selling the team. What are you selling?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess the social media account. I guess.
I hear Grant. I hear this thing called Bitcoin is really taking off. So maybe you just sell the team in Bitcoin or something, and then you get some of that and invest it in something.
I think that would be my price. Yeah, if it was Bitcoin or some AMC shares.
Okay.
Yep.
One bit.
I'll just retire.
Yeah.
So if he buys your team of drivers that have no contract. No contractual obligation to stay, and it's just basically a label in RSR team's thing. I'm not trying to wreck your sale here, but couldn't you all just go, cool, thanks for buying that. We're now called Flat Out Esports with all the same drivers doing all this.
No, that. What did the sell?
Okay, yeah, I mean, no. You're right. He buys lots. It's very valuable.
So he gets the drivers, right? So the drivers, you're all into the same team now. I think that's the idea. There's some sort of commitment to XPM, right? Which they're doing pretty well this year. I think they've got some drivers that are pretty high up in the
points. They're going to own the whole league soon, apparently. So
yeah, when you they had I think they
just. I was gonna say in Discord, I had just saw where people were talking about it, and I was just making a joke. And he asked, and I mean, I don't mind him asking. I wouldn't, I was joking about the Vin Diesel meme, but at the same time, I'm close to all the people I race with, but also there's no value in buying my team. Now, if Evan ever swapped over to actual charters, I could understand maybe somebody buying.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think Liam had put in the chat, said there's 26 people waiting and it's growing. Yeah. I talked to somebody today who's trying to bring a team over that isn't even signed up yet. So I don't know. I mean, Evan's doing a great job to have that many people, because last year I think it was 5 to 8 people were kind of waiting. It really wasn't that big of a list. And now it's
I signed up in summer of last year. And I signed up in summer of last year and I just got in. Which was very surprising to me, and I would have paid upwards of probably $100 to join the league, right? So when you talk about, okay, so you talk about a full season, $3 a race for a Coke Series style.
Yeah, exactly. I got that console game. NASCAR Heat 1 looks pretty good right now. Yeah,
just give me that Byron Exalta car. I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
So the idea of if we all had charters, we could probably sell it for a lot more. And I think we talked on the episode with Evan. Evan is certainly not charging the max he could for joining for a year of the $35 entry fee, right?
I want to make a quick point, because I saw a little bit of the Coke race. I think that Brandon, we didn't even talk about Brandon, but what a freaking drive. I saw him on the apron at the beginning of the race in the back. The thing with our league, I think it's in a perfect spot right now, where it's that Coke. The Coke. If we turn much more to the Coke series, where the league gets stronger and stronger, it just gets harder and harder to make any passes. They don't really pass very much in that series. They just kind of race around each other. But they're all so good that they don't really make any moves. It's just my opinion of this series. I think it's a lot. There's not a ton of lead changes a lot of the times. It's just not a whole lot. Today was a little different from what I saw, but normally it's not. There's just not a lot of movement. And when you have a little bit of a bigger discrepancy in field, Matt and I is racing against even Grant. I mean, Grant, you're good. I think you're good. So you passed me several times, and then
not this year.
No, I feel we've been racing a little bit around each other this year, I will say. But
the joke on the team is I'm in the Casey Kane equipment this year.
So
Whoever sucks, labeled Casey Kane. So
yeah, but he did win a couple races, but otherwise, yeah, he sucked. But yeah, so I think it does kind of provide a little bit of better racing, if that makes sense. Even though maybe the top is a little stagnant with kind of the same guys running near the top, but like I just think like if something happens to some of these guys, they can kind of make their way up through the field. There's just a little more movement. So
yeah,
I
mean, in our series, it's not like that at all. So I had to go through and do the power rankings, and there are 4 guys over the last 3 races who have an average finish of 11th or better. Like there is certainly parity in our league, but maybe not as much in the Coke series. I don't follow it close enough, but in our league, there certainly is some parity up front.
I would say so.
I want to throw an idea out real quick because you're talking about the quality of the league. I was just thinking about this today. Like, what if, like, I don't like the fixed setups. Like, last year at one point, they got where they were kind of loose, and I was having fun with them.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I hate them, but it is what it is. But, like, what if Jeff McConey, I think that's his name, McConey made Cup Series setups and, like, freed the cars up, and then because, like, I remember iRacing in 2016, lap 1, you had to respect that car, and the racing was a lot cleaner. Now, there's more self-spins, but the overall racing was more fun. This current setup we got with the car, aero push, we can't really side draft. It's tight as hell. Man, I think it'd be fun if we could just try a few custom sets. But that's just my personal opinion. I just wish we had something that would give up more, so we had more options. But I don't know. That's just something I've always thought about.
I know this is gonna hurt Mara Motorsport's feelings, but I think we could probably get Nick to make a setup that would be more effective. Because so McConey did the setup for Montreal. Well, hang on. What's the law in America where I think you just got to say in my personal opinion, right? And then that clears you of any liabilities.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
cool. To be fair, I don't know who he is. I was just using an example. It don't have to be him. So I just think of the idea. I don't know who that guy is. I just know like of McConey through RSR. So I don't know his quality of builds, but that was just kind of my.
Well, the Montreal set that we used in Winter Series was about a second a lap slower than the standard iRacing fixed set. So that was interesting.
Does it need to be faster to be a good setup?
Well, that setup was not fast or good. It was like. So I would suggest that you want the tires to, like, in the road situation, if you're going to slow them up, fair enough, you can slow them up, but then make it more racy by holding onto the tires, so then you can actually, battle with people. But that set just, it was all wonky, and so it just destroyed the tires, so you couldn't even battle, you couldn't even race with anyone. And that's why, like, while I was sitting behind Drew, even though I was, like a second lap faster, by a lap later, you just had no rear grip, so no one could get off the corner at all. Anyway, that's just in my personal opinion. I think that would be a bad route to go. But I think having it somewhat open maybe might be interesting. Or, like you said, if there was because iRacing offer that other set now, right? They've got like the other. They've got 2 fixed sets.
I think they offer a fixed and an open set, at least from what I've seen. I don't know if there's anything else.
So
I think the other one's more racy.
Brought up. So last year when the A-Fix setups actually got loose, because this was during the playoffs of last year, we went to Vegas. I was practicing. I didn't practice all year until I made the playoffs. I was like, okay, I need to try to do something. I was having fun in A-Fix. I could drive from the back to the front because the car would give up and it would snap on people. So a lot of people, of course, they think they can go wide open. And I could zoom to the front by throttle, managing the tires with throttle. So, of course, I was super excited. We get to our race, and it's wide open, tight as hell, terrible. And I messaged Evan after the race. I was like, because Michael had made a comment, because me and him were sucking. Like, for the first half of that race, me and him were like 20th. And we were like, what the hell's going on? And finally, after the race, we looked, and the loaded set was the open set. So I had messaged Evan. I was like, why are we on the open set? It makes the car tighter because it's not, we should be on fixed. But there was like an issue with the Beta UI where it would only show up that set. So, so we did get to run those. They're typically tighter. They're not very good, but from my understanding, they're there for people to start building a setup off of. Mm-hmm. But that could be interesting to try. I don't know. I feel like either way, it probably just complicates things, though.
I think if we Matt and I, Matt and I would need to find a partnership very, very fast. If they went to open
team, I'll sell the team and we'll find a setup builder or something. I'm not a setup builder.
Yeah. We would not be good at it.
I can't even find time for practice. You want me to find enough time to practice and like test the setup? Is not happening.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no place for that.
Like the NASCAR video games where you could just adjust track bar or something. You know, like wedge, like little things like tape, track bar, wedge, tire pressures. Like that's how the old Technics games used to be. I wish we could do that in iRacing because that's not, maybe from a coding perspective, maybe it's complicated for them, but man, that would be so much fun because at least if we have a shitty setup, we have options.
Some control.
Driving style. Because I like a loose car, so I would be trying to make it loose as possible. Some people like it tight, so I don't know. That's like the only compromise I can think of for fixed racing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like on the oval side, where a lot of our racing is fixed setup, whereas on road, it seems like a lot of the road guys are way more comfortable with open set. Like if you join a road league, it 9 times out of 10 that'll be an open set league. And a lot of the road guys tend to have more of an understanding and sort of they get the concept of setup building. Whereas on oval, and I'm much the same as you, Grant, as far as not really being that great when it comes to, what the hell I'm doing. But for whatever reason on oval we're more accustomed to the fixed side. So don't know why that is. Don't know why, but perhaps I guess because I think when iRacing was first a thing. I don't know. I think Sam's been around for a while. He might be able to answer this, but back in the day, there was very few fixed leagues. Fixed series at all. So there was no like, A fixed, B fixed, C fixed. Like every single thing had a fixed series. It was predominantly open, and then I guess over time they progressively just added more and more. Yeah, there you go. Almost everything was open. So for whatever reason, progressively over time they've gone towards that fixed route, and I guess that's kind of made us collectively a little bit dumber, because there's very few people, and the people who do know how to build are like really sought after. If you're someone who knows how to build, you're like super valuable across the service.
Hence Makoni Setup Shop and some of the other ones that are out there. And honestly, if I would have joined iRacing and heard off the bat, well, you want to drive cars, but you need to understand setups first, I would have been screwed. I would have never joined if I had to learn setups, right? So I think that's why there's fixed leagues. And certainly I'm grateful for them. I've joined open a couple times, but I don't play with the setup. And then you already have a disadvantage. It doesn't even matter how good you are because people are, using setups that are, make you faster. So I'm appreciative of it for people who are good at it. That's why you go run open instead of fixed. And the participation, I believe, is way better in fixed right now without looking at any numbers.
Yeah, I would say that's probably true. But where's Nick
going? I will say, maybe it's a kind of a natural transition now that Nick's back, that we have worked with Makoni Setup Shop for the entire year. They do sponsor Nick's car. But we do have
people that just so unhappy with Makoni that they've been just throwing me into the wall all year. Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe
like I can't take the heat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I was like, Jeff is awesome. Jeff is awesome. He's been on some of the Podium Esports broadcasts. So I think we like Jeff. We appreciate what he's done for our team. And sponsoring Nick for the first half of this year is pretty awesome. But with a new number, and I think we've brought it up a couple times that Nick does not have sponsorship for the second half of the year. And so Nick was very in demand. It was very difficult to settle on a sponsor for the end of the year. But we do have some news as far as Nick's new number 40 car. So I guess with that, I'll try here to get us a reveal for Nick's new number 40 and our new partner.
A whole number change. We're not even talking about the number change.
We'll get to the number change. First, we'll talk the new sponsor, and then we'll talk about the number change.
Of course. So the 40 just feels right. I feel like 40.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel it. What are we looking at?
Here we go.
Oh, no. Video sponsor review? Oh, Jesus. He's just overlaying my crap from last week, from yesterday.
Play the Celine Dion music.
I can't hear it.
Oh, you don't need to. There's some build-up music there.
Okay.
So let me get the car up. What's up?
Sorry, I was looking in the chat. Lap 40, I think we were under caution, and I was wondering if Liam was going to turn me again if I got back up to him. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm thinking back, actually. So what I was going to say is we do have Sim Racing Studio joining us. Michigan to the end of the year on Nick's car. Preview the paint scheme here that Nick will be racing. I think it's a little bit better suited for the new number. Fresh look, hopefully some fresh luck for Nick starting after Michigan. I know summer has not been hot girl summer for Nick that he was hoping for. So hopefully this will bring some of that heat back. I know I'm excited to bring Sim Racing Studio on board. I do have the shake kit, which is like we
know.
The base shakers, except on steroids, basically, that are awesome with my rig, as well as the wind simulator to give you a true sense and feel of the speed, to give you full immersion in your motion rig or your regular stationary rig. So very cool. We're excited to have them on board.
That's awesome.
Yes. All I had to do is show the Clash video. I think they saw me fist pumping. They saw Nick winning. They said I want to be a part of that. So we have a new sponsor.
You should show
I did not show the IROC one. They do also partner. I am a motion rig user. Look at me bounce back and forth here. They thought it was very cool.
Advertisement for motion. I actually saw that. I was like, that's pretty sick. That
So
you
is
can
the
almost
video
die.
of you flailing is like that saved? Like I haven't seen this. Is this?
Yeah.
saved?
Oh, you haven't seen it. So that's something I'm working on. Being a little quicker.
Can you please pull it up? Can you please pull it up? It's a highlight. It's a highlight of my year. I mean, not during, but like looking back and reflecting 4 months later. It really is. It's very real, is what it is. I guess Matt uses my sponsor setup, but I mean, if it was gonna be me, I really should have just put like Target Tray Table as the sponsor from like Great Value and put it on the car or something like that. That would have made a lot more sense for what I actually use on the car. So, are you pulling it up, Matt? Is that?
Yeah. We are working on that too. We'll get you a better setup for sure. Here, yes, they did show a lot of me at the end here. It is pretty great. I think they were very amused of my motion rig there for sure. So we'll see what this looks like here as I share. We'll go to it.
There it is.
There we go. Okay, sweet. Okay. Oh, I got it on. Oh, there we go. Yep. Yeah, so you see me moving around. This is my first race in the motion rig too. This is my first time. Yeah. So this is actually a little bit further back. I should probably get to the final lap where all the fun happens. Oh. You guys are excited about.
Okay, here we go. I love this so much. Oh my god.
Nick giggling like a little schoolgirl.
Oh my god. You're going everywhere. Oh man. Whew. The infield care center, aka his wife, is going to need to clear him before he can race again. That's for sure. Oh man. Grant, what do you think? That was like pretty intense, was it not? Like this.
So if I was him, this is what I'd do. So you're looking for 2022 sponsorship for the next gen car, unless NASCAR says it kills people and we don't use it for some reason.
Yeah.
But I would use this video. Like, I would just be like, listen, I'm dedicated to what I do. Look at me go and just, you want to sponsor me? No, but like, that is hilarious. Like, I'm glad you pulled that up.
Yeah, I think the podcast got really quiet. Like, nobody said anything. They just cut to commercial, no sound. They were so worried about him afterward.
I hope Matt's okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay, I promise.
That was Dylan. That was Dylan for the booth. He's like in tears. I hope that's okay.
And on a serious note, like, what? So, do you feel like the motion rig throws you off though? Like, I mean, obviously,
so there's a lot of.
I don't know. I feel like a motion rig could.
Yeah. So there's a great question. So I think it's personal preference. Personally, on the restrictor plate, I think it's probably not. But part of the reason, and I'm watching them show the replay over here because I didn't stop the video, so I'm going to close that. So nothing like reliving it multiple times.
More when people wreck me if I was on a motion rig.
So
like, I would just get even
there's
more
been some moments that have surprised me.
Wrecked.
Yeah, well, some moments have surprised me. So I think it was at Nashville, Sean Casto like railed into me, and I think he hit me square in the back, so it didn't do much with the car, but I literally felt the car jerk, and it happened again at Atlanta too. Somebody nailed me in the back, and I got a little bit of whiplash. I'm not even joking. So it was an appropriate reaction by the sim rig, but I kept moving, but I got like a big jerk in the back. So probably a more appropriate way to phrase that. But yeah, so competition wise, it's not really helping me at all. On the super speedways, it's nice because I think the transition from the 36-degree banking to, nearly flat, right? There's a big transition period that you're guessing off the turn versus feeling it. So with the motion rig, that was helpful in the IROC race and in the other restrictor plate racing I've done in the motion rig. Other than that, it's just a nice to have. It's not adding performance, but it is a neat little feature that after you start playing with it, that and honestly, I was thinking butt kickers, right? So I don't know who has butt kickers, right? But the Shake Kit Pro from Sim Racing Studio, it's got like 6 butt kickers actually. And so you can feel the vibrations in different areas of your back and your ass, right? So you can like see where the vibration is. And I think without that on, it's almost just as much immersion loss. Yeah, nothing that I'm saying is providing any value, but yes, it is. It's cool to have. Once you do it, it kind of feels weird without doing it. So I think at Charlotte, I did it without it, and it was kind of odd. But it's certainly not making me perform any better.
Hey, Matt, I think there's one thing you're missing, though, from your whole setup. I did see one other RSR driver that is far more professional. So I haven't seen him around lately, but Bobby Krug, I think his name was. He had the full like race suit sort of setup going on.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Definitely Bobby Krug. It was definitely Bobby Krug. Where did he go?
Well, there was that one guy that had a Dale Jr. car in his room, like that got
really
or something.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about? It was like all over social media. There's this dude. I think Yes, Jason.
Jason Jacoby. Yeah.
We had
an episode about Jason Jacoby like 6 episodes ago, and we also asked Evan about it. We've tired the subject, so go back and watch our old episodes.
He had a Dale Jr. He had a Dale Jr. car in his room. Like, was he like?
It was like a.
Yeah, it was like a Hall of Fame racing, like a Hall of Fame simulator.
He had. No, I think it was it wasn't like an Arca body shell that he had cut up in half for him. It was some of that, or a late model or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, some of that. Yeah. But
that was a cool rig, though. I mean, he had the Hendrick seat that they used. I was like, God, this dude spent like $30K on this.
Yeah, he went over the top on that stuff.
Bobby is
here. I've been with a Logitech on a desk, and it comes off in my lap every week. I mean, dang.
So you.
I'm not dissing Logitech. I'm dissing.
Oh, that. But you did just upgrade, and you got VRS products. So why don't you tell us about your recent upgrades?
Okay, well, shout out to SimSeats. I have a SimSeats rig. I just put it together the other day. with the VRS pedals. They're really cool. I'm poor at the moment, so I don't have the VRS wheel, but I'll eventually get that as well. It's nice. I drop a lot in my Discord during races about stuff sliding around. I move around. I've never been able to get on the brakes hard because stuff will come off in my lap. The pedal slide,
Really?
my seat slides. Yes, it's terrible. I don't enjoy the fact I finished 6th in the points last year was a miracle. I was like, hell yeah, I'm a champion. Like this was like going from Rick Ware equipment to like Kyle Larson's ride. This is what it felt like.
Yeah.
Like last night, me getting to my pit box, I was spot on every time. I could get on the brakes. It was great.
So I'm sorry. That was his mother-in-law passing to grab laundry. I think it was a couple of times. So she's obviously. I don't think he knows that happened, but hilarious in its own right. Yeah. But
oh wait, so we should invite her to the show.
I was gonna say. I don't know. I don't know if she knows a lot about
you can tell her about your race.
Yeah, exactly. I think the one thing she'd really like to do is hear about my 60 laps. I think she'd really like to hear about that. So, if Matt didn't already give her like a lap by lap replay of it, well, he probably, who knows where he went, know where that happens. But Grant, he's back. Okay, hold on. He's probably like,
let her try the rig.
He's talking. Yeah, he's talking, but he's got it on mute. So.
Oh, there we go. Yes, my mother-in-law did just tell me that she walked through the screen there. Say hi. So I guess I'll give a little bit of backstory. So my mother-in-law is in town for the weekend, and the bed is down here, and I've kicked her to sleeping on the couch so we can do the episode tonight. So
what does she think about the Mara arcade?
What does she think about the Mara arcade? She thinks it's too bright to get some sleep down here, so everything's got to be off.
How did you explain this podcast to her? Like, what was your? How did you try and pass it off that it was like?
Nobody asked any questions. They just assume you're a little odd, probably. No, I just say, hey, I get last night she had to
throw her in the motion rig again and give her a ride, like flip her around and just see what she thinks. Or throw the kids in there, and it's like you're going
Nick, everything you just said implies towards what Sam just put in the chat. But yeah, so just throw in there and all out of context goodness. So so last night was she had to wait till after the race was over. And we had our powwow in the chat. I think there were like 5 or 6 who joined the Mara Motorsports Discord afterwards. So it was a party. Yeah, Liam joined us, and Brian and Jeremy and Danson and I were all chilling in the Mara Motorsports Discord after the race, watching Danson bragging about his save. We had to watch the replay a couple times, so nothing surprising. But
that's understandable.
so she's been a good sport. So yes,
has your wife driven the motion rig?
No, but my daughter has. My 3-year-old daughter has. So yeah, I show her it. Right, we did. Yeah, we ran some laps at Eldora. She has fun for a little bit. It's more fun to do the dirt tracks. It whisks the car around a little bit more, the traction loss. So, yes, I think that you were talking about doing before the show, I think, or maybe it was at the beginning, getting Nick set up here in the Mara Motorsports gaming house basement with a rig so we can race next to each other. And so I think my idea at some point is I'll have some old equipment. I'll give it to my kids and be like, you better race or else. And then they'll get in the league and they'll be better than me. That's pretty great.
I'm so sorry. I just got so distracted. There's the last couple of comments from
I've been reading them. I've been trying not to laugh.
Top-notch. Yeah, that's
This is why we ask people to keep going in the chat. That's great. Yeah, no, I agree.
Mara Motorsports adding a 3rd car for 2022.
They got 2 more. We got 2 more. You got your brother, and then you've got your daughter now who can also race.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Y'all are like, y'all can be like kind of like the DEI of RSR. I mean, I know they wasn't all family, but still, as a family.
Yeah. Well, and that was the evil stepmother walking through earlier.
That was Teresa.
Yeah, that was Teresa. That's Teresa walking through. Yeah, no, I think I would be a little concerned that Matt's daughter could replace me with my recent finishes. If you just qualify in the show, could probably be a little better. So,
I'm adding a new question in the chat. That nobody wants to answer. So I've added a new poll. Who wrecks more next year in 2022, my daughter or Steve Durham? So please provide your input.
Nice. I love it.
I'm with Steve Durham.
I think it's probably going to a segment to the show where everybody places bets on how many wrecks we'll have the next week.
Yes.
Well, that's a really good one.
The driver who has the most.
Well,
Steve.
We say that, but I think Matt made the comment. Steve has 0 penalty points. I'm the one who's going to get suspended. So, but Steve came on the show.
Like 23 people that have penalty points, or
it's a lot of
It's like over half the league.
Yep.
Too many people.
I don't know. Yeah, Steve might not be number one in anything anymore. Which, from a leadership standpoint, did he go? Where did he go?
Yeah.
I don't know. Did he grab some? Where did you grab, Matt? Where did you go?
I grabbed some liquor.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no!
Grant, are you old enough to drink?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Good. So it's okay. We can do that on the show. So where are we? Where are we going next, Matt? Do we need to show standings? Do we have another announcement?
So we have another announcement. I'm sure that everybody's on. They're just waiting. They heard 2 announcements tonight, and we've only given one. I think we're really excited. Yeah, I think we're really excited for this other announcement. It's pretty great. Good things happen to good people. So I think we brought it up on the broadcast. We're good people, I decided. So
and then Dan said just good things happen to him.
Well, that's because he practices and he tries hard.
In spite of being
and he's a good driver.
Yeah.
So we had the episode with Evan a few weeks ago. I think it was about a month ago now. And Evan did hint to this during the broadcast last week or yesterday that there may be something in the works. And so he did let us announce this one. I'm pretty excited about it. Coming to you July 26th. We're doing a drivers only broadcast for the IROC race. So we're pretty excited about this. Nick's going to be our main commentator, and Danson and I are going to provide some color commentary. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're excited for it. Excited for the opportunity. Excited that RaceSpot's going to let us do it. I don't think they maybe understood what they're getting into here. But I know we're – yes, thank you, Sam. Yes, we are all white men. We're excited about this one. I guess, guys, thoughts on this one?
It looks like y'all are.
I can dress up as a woman if you want.
Yeah,
for diversity purposes.
That would be amazing. That would be. Yeah. I think that would be. That would be incredible. Grant, we need you and we need everybody who's listening to show up, because what we can't have is a 10-car field to commentate. We're going to need some action. So we need people to show up for this race. Even if this is the one time, I'll buy that damn car if we need to for you to show up for the race. If this is the only time you use it, show up so we have things to talk about. Otherwise, as you know, I could talk about Atlanta. It'll only be 2 weeks removed. I can go through 60 laps every lap. I could just show an in-car camera.
You should make references during this race, just every few laps, make a reference back to Atlanta.
Exactly.
That's like that time I took turn 1 in Atlanta. By the way, I finished. Nick, now also I want to point out something that you made me aware of during practice for Atlanta.
How good I am?
You had no awareness of the background of side by side and how synonymous that is with Evan.
No,
this is the person you're planning on just going to his house, inviting yourself to his house, and you don't know the history of side by side. Just Just explain that.
It was funny because when you brought it up on the podcast, Anton, I was like, "That's cute. That's super cute. Like, what the?" Oh, I was like, "Oh, that's actually a thing." Like when he was explaining it, I was like, "Oh, this is a thing that he does. Like, this is actually his thing." But I don't actually know this is his thing until he's describing it. So I'm gonna work on some side by side. I'm gonna have to do a lot of research. I actually am gonna take this half serious, with a little bit of my humor mixed in as well, because that's just natural. So I am going to reach out to Evan and ask him for a few tips to, not completely destroy RacePot's reputation in a 90 to 120 minute period. So that is the goal, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Are you getting a better mic?
A better mic? This isn't good enough for you. I'm actually going to go to Matt's. This is how serious we are. I'm going to drive an hour outside the city and go to Matt's place. So we'll both be in the Mara arcade, just so I have enough screens to actually watch this thing and broadcast it. So,
yeah.
When you're the best, you're the best, So I take this more seriously than apparently my driving. So, except for when lap 34, when Liam and I made contact and I was going down to the bottom of the track. That was exquisite driving. That was better than the Matt Danson save. Tell your friends. But
that's true.
Yeah, exactly. But
Danson, what are your thoughts? So I know Danson was a little hesitant when we got the news. I know. I think Nick and I instantly pounced on it. I have good expectations because I know Nick is going to lead us the way. We're going to have 4 screens here, so I will have plenty of data. We'll have 2 iRacing streams and some live timing and scoring. We'll have plenty to talk about. So again, I repeat what Nick you said. People show up, please, so we have something to talk about. Give us some good racing. And remember, I think Danson, you've said it before, what's going on the track. It's all about for the excitement, the entertainment, and for the fans. So give us some fun stuff to talk about on purpose if you have to. So Danson, yes, your thoughts on this?
I think Braden just captured it right there. I can't win a trophy from the commentary booth, so it's sort of I got to ask myself what's in it for me. But I just want to make sure, I mean, we've got a lot to live up to, right? So we've got Evan, who's set the precedent, and even just the other commentators along the way. We had Jonathan, I guess Dylan, he does his stuff from the driver's seat, and it's a little bit second.
So Dylan, and I look back too. I will look back at some of the broadcasts from last year. I don't know how to remember this, but Dylan was not in the car last year and announced the Cup races. So
I should watch those. I feel like he would be really good.
And he did a good job. Yeah, he did do a good job. I don't know why it didn't occur to me until I think last week, but he did do racing before being the in-car reporter. The announcing.
Yeah, because unfortunately, when he's trying to focus on the driving, it's not. I actually thought his commentary whilst driving was much better than his driving whilst commentating. So I guess for me, we gotta try and live up to all that. You don't want to see me try. I've heard that's who's that phrase from, Sam? But yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully we can live up to it. We'll see. I need to brush up on my live sort of commentaries. I know we're doing the the color commentary, but I feel like when I do things, I like to do them semi right. So I feel like I'll probably just take over from Nick as the main commentator. And
you can't use that soothing Australian accent and just overpower my basic bitch American accent. I know that could work. But I'm not letting you do it.
You guys would be familiar with Lee Diffie, right? Like he commentated IndyCar and everything.
Legend, yeah.
So
I'll let you say you can bring the action. I'll let you say that at the intro.
Is that what he says?
Yeah.
I don't even know what he says these days. I just remember him from he used to do supercars back down here before he went over to the States. But I feel like he set the precedent for an Australian coming over there and just taking over. So I'm going to try and do the same thing. The Aussie invasion and we'll see what happens. Maybe I can take Evan's job.
That's saved for me, Danson. We're gonna have a nice little war in the booth, I guess. So
yeah.
That'll be fun. Really, it'll be a real ego pushing kind of day. And we'll see who comes out on top. That's going to be the most interesting. Who comes out top between you and I for egos, and who comes out first on the track is secondary. I think at that point. So,
my understanding is too. We'll have Evan and Dylan to pull in their in-race reporter status that they've had in the other IROC races. So it'll be fun interacting with them in that manner.
It'll be exciting. Nice. I like Liam's name in the chat for you, Danson, is my new nickname for you.
Matt Frodson, yeah.
Matt Frodson. I got his Road to a Mickey Mouse Winter Championship thing on Discord. Because I mentioned it a few weeks ago. It's just the funniest thing. You did have a real oval win, but it's like that is exactly what every single like troll and bot will put for like any sports thing. It's just the funniest thing ever. If you haven't seen it, Danson, take a look. It is hilarious.
No, I saw it.
Okay, I just like you throw anything for like basketball, and it's like LeBron James, Mickey Mouse wearing these. It's just the funniest thing.
No, I know. I saw Liam say that, and I was just like, I mean, he's got to win something himself first. Like if he's not even winning the Mickey Mouse stuff, so
I was gonna say something in the chat, and I was like, I'll let Danson fight his own fights. I don't need to go to war with him. But Liam hasn't won shit in RSR, so I was like, so this is my thought process. So I was like, I was gonna make the comment. Liam hasn't won, in his races. How does he have room to talk about these guys? And then I was like, wait, we literally are 13 episodes into a podcast talking about people, and I haven't come close to winning. So he can do whatever he wants. So I held back the comment. Yes.
But I guess the show would have existed last year during the playoffs when everything just went south with some of the people outside of the playoffs, like the Gary Sexton incident. Yes. I remember at Vegas. Boy, this podcast would have been great after that race.
We need some.
Wasn't there an incident that happened at Phoenix?
No, you stop that right now.
Perhaps.
I think something happened at Phoenix. I can't put my finger on it. Steve, are you still in the chat? Do you remember? Hang on, let's bring him back. Steve, where are you?
I think he's gone now. Andrew said he can only be involved for 30 minutes of podcast, and then I
did hear that he had a list of 10 phrases that he's allowed to use. He can only copy paste them into the chat. He's not allowed to use anything outside of those parameters.
And I think they were like, I'm really good at dirt. Andrew's great.
I don't think he's allowed to mention Andrew. He's not allowed to mention him by name.
You're right.
That's restricted.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. I didn't hear his name mentioned.
Looks like Sam has a question. Or has a suggestion.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Grant was Oh,
no.
So you were Michael, you were Lariah's teammate in that race.
Yeah.
Do you want my side of the story?
I would love to get your insight. I think we can have your side of it. And also that I've heard some rumors on the grapevine that there might have been a conspiracy. So even just anything you've heard about that, if you've heard of that is a thing, and what your thoughts are.
I'll just take you through Phoenix, I guess. I did not qualify for the Final Four. I was a few points short. Martinsville went pretty rough for a lot of us. I still finished well. I think I finished 6th. But we went to Phoenix. I was just there to race and try to stay out of everybody's way. Michael, pretty much like all the Final Four, everybody was on top of each other. They were just, everybody's good. Michael had came over the radio and was like, I'm just as fast as them, but I'm not fast enough to pass the 88. So I started playing the role of crew chief. I was like, Michael, I really want you to win this. So I was like, me, you, and Sam, let's get on a different strategy. I was like, let's pit now. And I was like, they're probably going to wreck anyways because that's just what happens in this league. But we're just throwing the Hail Mary because this is going to get you the championship. We all pitted while everybody else stayed out. I had a tore-up car, and we were 1, 2, 3. And I was like, man, this might actually work. And the laps keep winding down. I'm like, Michael, you're going to have to call me Chad Knaus. I was like, we got this thing won. And then all of a sudden, a car comes out of the pits, spins, and I was like, caution. I was like, well, we just lost because we didn't have any tires left. And I don't think at the time I knew what had happened actually until after the race. And I was like, okay, somebody 47 laps down just came out, immediately spun, and it's over. So I don't know. I was pretty pissed about it. I just felt like there was no need to be out on the track. At the time, he didn't apologize to Michael about it either. Like, all the Final Four guys reached out to Michael and was like, "Hey, man, like you had us beat with that call."
Yeah.
I did watch y'all's episode when y'all talked about it, and like, you know, he apologized and everything. And I mean, you know, it's not a big deal anymore. But at the time, I was like, dang, like Michael had that thing won, and we lost it because somebody was almost 50 laps down. But I know y'all got on, like, y'all were like roasting Andrew and stuff and got on that. But I'll tell you, that dude is an awesome driver. Anytime I've raced with him,
oh yeah,
he's fast, but he's clean, and like, and I feel like that's the biggest difference. Like, when you race up front, even with this really crappy package, we have some awesome drivers in this league, and you get up there with them, even if it's like you're an inch off each other, you can trust them, and it's fun. Like me, the 88, Daniel, and I don't remember who the other guy was, but we were 4 wide at Pocono, and I was like, well, this shouldn't work, but it did. So I don't know. I kind of hope over the course of time, as more people in the league get to know each other and get more used to their driving styles, I hope from top to bottom the racing gets cleaner, because I know if you're in the top 10, it's, you know, it's pretty good. But man, once you get outside the top 10, you're probably getting wrecked just due to like desperation, which you kind of have to race desperate with the package. But it's like 2 different worlds in one race. So
that's
how
I
feel about it. But
I wish, like I was saying, I don't even want to talk about my race.
The 30 for 30.
Damn it, it's happening again. I just
30
want
for 30, the Michael Araya story.
No, it's the it's the Steve Durham story. They take it
for 30, Wait, so, the weatherman.
Yeah,
exactly. Was he in the 10 last year as well? Was that he was running the 10 at that time?
Yes.
Put on the link.
So, so Grant, when you've obviously seen when the 10 went around, you know, he came out, he was, I think, 50 laps down. You've seen him go around as a, you know, high level driver yourself. What was your take on the way that car kind of just rotated on its own axis, you know, halfway through the corner like that?
You remember that Clint Boyer race?
Yes, of course.
2 years ago. That's what I'm just playing. No, I just thought he got loose and lost it, and that's all I thought about it. I thought my only gripe about the whole thing, like I thought it was an accident. I just was like,
it didn't look intentional. It was like, why are you out there? Did you purposely cause the accident?
That was my only gripe. Yeah. No, I didn't think he caused it on purpose. I thought he just got loose. But my thing was, this is a big race for these drivers who made it. And I'm like, dang, 50 laps down. Like, if I was 3 laps down, I wouldn't be on the track. But, you know, everybody's got their, you know, difference of opinions. Me and Steve, I about said Steve, we race well together. I mean, we don't have too many issues, but yeah, that race sucked.
So I am curious, where did you finish in the points that year? You said you almost, like last year, you said you almost made it to the Final Four.
Well, I think we should wait. Before we get into that, Grant, you had an amazing run to get into the playoffs. So you were out at the cutoff race, which was Daytona, and you won to get in, which was pretty amazing. And then I guess from there it had to be gravy, right?
Season. Yeah, I'm glad most of my teammates are all computer nerds. My computer would shut off. It was terrible. Sam was trying to fix it like remotely to make it last. Like, I have a new computer now. But it was funny. Like, the whole team was like working on my computer trying to figure out like, man, we just got to make this thing stay on and not shut off during Daytona. And I had a pretty bad season last year. I got beat up by everybody. Got wrecked every race. I was like, dang, I'm just a pinball in this league. And went to Daytona. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm tired of it. Like, I'm going to try to win this race. And it came down to me and Daniel. I think I split him 3 wide, and I blocked him like crazy. I was like, you know what? Checkers or wreckers. And he made the perfect move on me, and I almost didn't do it at the last second. I was like, you know what? He's got 5 wins. I door checked him, took the win, and went from being like 25th in the standings to finishing 6th.
Wow.
I like Daniel a lot. Me and him race well together. I felt bad for checking, but at the same time, I was like, well, he's got 5 wins, and he seems like a level-headed dude for at least in my experience. So I was like, he'll probably understand. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to do that again. I don't know. I mean, we never talked about it, but he never.
Well, obviously watch it,
super
right?
clean.
So I don't know why I didn't have this queued up, but we'll go through it. So I have it now.
Are you going to try watching this, Grant? I don't think so.
I remember thinking here, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to win because I got in the wrong lane. And Joey let me get down. And then it was
you're third place.
Kind of luck from there.
Should we fast forward a little bit? No,
this is the last restart, as far as I understand. Grant's on the high side here. He's side by side with Gary Sexton here with the pushback number on the side. Coming to the white flag. And that's Gary's in car there. Does he have like a GoPro on his head there? That's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
So this is the last lap. So walk us through it, Grant.
My whole thought process was don't get a gap on him. I was dragging the brake for most of this lap because I knew Daniel was going to lay back. There they go. Right here, I was just watching the mirror. I don't think I even looked straight ahead the whole lap. And then going into 3, I was like, drag the brake hard because I wanted to force him. I knew he'd move up, but I wanted to try to kill as much momentum as possible. He's going to move up here. And then I was thinking, okay, I need somebody to help push. He didn't. At the last second, I was like, okay, door check, take the win. Hope he doesn't hate me for it. And then he killed me right there, which I don't blame him.
It's way after, yeah.
We got the dub, baby.
Yeah. So does Evan make this call? I guess I missed it. We can go back a couple steps here. Maybe we can play some audio. Yeah, this was last summer.
Love that car. Love the Pepsi paint scheme.
Everhart still pushing the 24. It's going to keep Gary Sexton in third. 2 far away. Here's the moment from Grant Davis as Everhart looks to the outside. Tries to draft. There's contact. A photo finish at the line. And it's Grant Davis winning the regular season finale and punching his ticket to the playoffs. By 1/100th second.
How many times have you watched that? I think I asked Dominic that last week. How many times have you watched it? That was a freaking awesome call by Evan. I've got chills. That was fantastic. How many times have you rewatched that, Grant?
Don't lie. Don't say, "Oh, I've not watched it at all until now."
Yeah, man, I ain't watched it at all. Roll Tide, baby. I don't know, probably 8 times. I don't know how y'all are with y'all's friends. I've never really talked about iRacing much with my friends because they don't really like racing. But I think last year, once I got in RSR, I kind of started like introducing them to iRacing and letting them come over and try it, which kind of got them interested in racing more. But I showed my friends that last lap, and they were like, "Hell yeah, brother!" Because I live in Alabama, so that's kind of the reaction. Like, Dale would be proud of you for that. So it was kind of like a funny joke amongst all my friends because I was like, "Well, this is what I do." Oh man, that's broadcasted. That guy's really good. So it was just kind of funny. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to do that again this year because I suck. So, which I sucked last year. So hey, you know what? Just never give up.
Where are you in the points? I'm trying to see.
I don't even want to know. Probably way off.
Oh, we can pull up the points. I've got them right here.
20s. I'm gonna guess 21st or 2nd, somewhere in that range.
21st. Yeah. You're 21st.
Hey,
you're about 30 points ahead of me, 35 or so. Which
after we've got through the points, can we watch the final lap of every single one of my wins?
Danson, at the risk of making you feel good about yourself, we don't have enough time on this podcast for that, okay? So, but you know what we could watch? Stan made a good point. We watched The Clash more than 8 times on this podcast. So we watched it more. We all as a group watched it more than Grant's watched his own win.
We should watch the Clash, but talk about Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. That would be
He gets it.
And then in the background, we'll have the call of my race playing, so everybody can be.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
while Danton holds his trophy. Yeah.
My job gets harder every week.
His trophy, and Matt moves around in his motion rig.
My job gets harder. You want me to merge 4 videos and audio sequences at the same time on the fly?
We're all gonna live our RSR highest moment at the same time.
My highest moment was moving around in the motion rig after I lost.
What does that say about me? That was a great moment. I would take that moment.
That was a good moment.
Yeah.
That reminded me of Kermit. When I watched that, honestly, it made me think of Kermit the Frog on Family Guy, where he's like flailing.
Yeah. That's exactly.
That's the first thing I thought of.
Oh man, poor guy.
Oh my gosh, Matt Kermit the Frog, same thing.
If you have a sponsored list race, will you run a Kermit the Frog railing?
I got so many options. I'll have Matt shaking in his motion rig on my hood.
How do you get a gift out of paint scheme? Somebody tell us. Give us the secret.
Yeah, we
motion Mara.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it.
The door now. That's a good nickname.
Matt Motion.
Yeah, you got Smoke, Tony Stewart. Now you got Motion for Matt Mara.
Yeah, I was a Tony Stewart fan, so I love that. Yeah,
Motion Mara, Matt Motion. I like it. Ooh, this rolls off the tongue too well. Do you think they're gonna start using that on the broadcast? We'll have to see. I don't know. We'll see.
Show them the motion. I love this guy. I am loving the chat tonight. You guys are having a lot of fun. I love it.
Locomotion. I love that. I'm kind of jealous. That's really a sick nickname. They better start using that. You got to put it on top of your door.
I need 4 locomotion.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
That was a good day. What else do we have to go over, Matt?
Are we watching the Clash again? Are we going to do that?
No. I don't want to watch it this week. No.
I
know Grant wants to watch it as a guest because you wouldn't get the full podcast experience if you didn't watch a replay of it. But we're gonna take it a break. We'll send it to you on the Discord so everybody can we should just put it up on our YouTube page or something, or our Twitter page, so everyone can watch it whenever they want. I think that's really brighten people's days.
I'm gonna message Evan after this and be like, so anytime Matt wrecks, there has to be a cut to his camera to see what the reaction is of the wreck.
Yeah, to see the car.
To Daytona.
Yeah, exactly. You want to catch those real raw moments. It's just like in his like when he was in his hands. We need to see that. That's what the audience wants to see. If he's in the pack, just have a camera on him at all times. Just have him on the broadcast.
Exactly. You want to see the disappointment. I want people to think, will he show up for the podcast tomorrow? Because he looked very disappointed. I don't know.
I feel like a lot of people are going to be trying to wreck you now, Matt. Just to make sure.
See the motion.
Flip. Yeah.
The locomotion. Yeah.
See the motion. Oh my God. All right. Power rankings.
Power rankings time. We're like 2 hours in. Dan's like, let's
wrap it up.
It's a solid 2-3 o'clock there. He's a tired man. Okay, so.
Exactly. I guess real quick. There's one other thing to go through before we get to the power rankings. Road to Pro. So just a quick call out for all of our fast friends in RSR. Lots of speed week 1 at Knoxville. I think Steve Durham and I think we can run the league if we raced on dirt. But Daniel and Drew finished third in their Road to Pro races at Knoxville. And I mean we just added 2 guys who are in Road to Pro to the RSR League. Cozy hasn't joined us because I guess he's got better things to do, but he's in the league. So we got 2 Altus Esports drivers in here. There's one notable missing. I don't think we want to talk about that. But
as Sam pointed out, so Sam made a really good point about about the sort of rigging the system basically by just running in 15th split with really good sets and getting in by racing against all the Barrys. And as you said, that's working out pretty well for one person in particular. But I think that's the route I'm going to take next year for sure. I think when Liam was on, that's what we were talking about. So it's definitely the way to go if they keep the system again. But Cozy will be here for the next race. I'd assume he couldn't make it for Atlanta because of the F1 2021 had just dropped, so he was busy making some new content. So make sure you check that out, Wingvow 8820. And Seth was asleep. That's his only reason.
I think you said that in the Discord too. You said he's probably sleeping still.
So we're never gonna see Danson again in our Discord. Is that it?
Merch is not from Australia, but he just recently purchased, I think it was MLB 21 and whatever the most recent one is, and so he spent a lot of time playing that. I believe. I think that's his focus. So he either forgot or just was enjoying his siesta. So
well, the Altus Esports guys are also always welcome in the Mara Motorsports chat. I think we enjoyed it while Nick is part of the Discord chat for the first 15 laps, and hopefully he can continue on further in the future. But you guys are all welcome, obviously. But we look at
see. I mean, obviously we're a certain level, so.
Danson, should I not get to know my future teammates though? Come on. I think I should get to know it. Like all meet and greet.
Sure. Yeah, you got me there. There. I guess we do need to get more in touch with the people who are going to be handling like customer service and social media and stuff for the team.
I mean, it's one thing when Nick visits people, but when he's about to move into the Altus Esports house, exactly. He wants to know these people before he moves in. Yeah. So it would be really good if he got to know them a little bit better.
This isn't like a Craigslist situation, okay? You want to at least know who I am. Give me a little tour of the place before I just show up. So we'll work on that. And I'm sure. I'm
confused why I'm getting offers for a team. Why are you not getting offers for a team? You get the house. You're getting a house. That's crazy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What do you think? What will you sell? What will you help sell Altus for? Like $50, $75 or something? Well, I think seems pretty fair.
I don't know what Kaczynski would buy. I mean, he can buy. He's not getting the house.
So wait. I think we save it. Wait. Before you get too far into it, I think we save it. We're an hour and 55 in. We'll save a segment for next week. We'll do The Price is Right, RSR team style. Obviously. Yes. That's a segment for next week. Let's save it. We'll have Drew chime in on it, who will hopefully still join us next week. Which he will. So let's save that. I think that's a segment for next week because we've already talked a lot about it, and I think it's going to be a fantastic conversation. I'll prep some materials so we can have some fun graphics. And hopefully, Michael will
this content. I wish we had this content for when Michael was on the show because he would have been able to talk about something.
Okay, shots fired.
We'll get the information. I know Michael has also made an offer from our motorsports, and so he is.
I have no comment on that. I'm sorry, I just oh my gosh, my heart just skipped a beat. Okay, can't wait to see your DMs tomorrow.
so we'll talk more about it next week. We'll talk about it. Look forward to next week. Join us again next week. If you haven't already, for some reason, subscribe to the channel. I guess you can't subscribe, but follow the channel and future subscribe once we become affiliate status, so that you'll know when we go live next week. We'll talk about it next week. We'll definitely do.
What do you think Mara Motorsports is for?
I don't know. I don't have a number yet. I'm trying to get what that number is. So we should ask the fans next week. What should we sell Mara Motorsports?
Oh my God, that's laughable. I'm already looking forward to that because I just can't assume it's going to be anything relevant. But when you get you're gonna get that banner behind you. You're gonna get the Clash banner. Let's make a ran 60 laps in Atlanta banner, please.
Is the motion
are we doing power rankings? Surely we're doing power rankings.
We gotta do power rankings because
we're getting the power rankings. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Okay, did Danson make the list this week? Yes or no? I don't know.
Surely. How could I not?
I don't know. That was quite a save.
Well, first, we have the outs. Okay, this is new this week.
The outs.
Oh, okay. You know what that means, Nick?
I know. I'm getting ready for it. This is gonna be really
I gotta have Nick on the. I gotta have Nick on the video. I'll work on this for next week. So, Nick, did you do it?
What are we doing for next week?
I gotta have you on the video. So we saw the drivers who are out, right? So what are we gonna do with those drivers who are out?
That's the 26, the 15, and the 57.
I was like, what are these people's numbers? You got me in a tough spot here.
I believe in you.
26. Who else?
15.
57.
Oh, 15 for Rhett. Yeah. Rhett.
Yep.
Well, Rhett crashed everybody. So, and that's what he said. I didn't see
say
that.
yes. We're not throwing anyone under the bus. Yeah.
Okay. What were we doing with these?
They're cold.
Because Matt didn't give me
cold. They got dropped.
57, 15, and 26. You're saying they're cold, right?
Yeah, they dropped out.
They're ice cold. Mm-hmm.
They're going in the freezer, baby, for the next week. And I'm not going to take these out because I didn't take the 88 out for a week. So, Rhett's a little cold. He's a little cold right now. And then the other two, I don't even know. I don't know.
Zach had a rough race. Zach had a rough race. I think he was involved in one of the accidents, and Seth didn't show up. He overslept. So he's in an ice coma right now.
Yeah.
Good for him. Do I have to do this with everybody? I thought we were just doing it with
No, not everybody's moving up and down. There are people at the bottom here who may need to be moved up. So we'll go ahead.
Cody had a rough day.
Yeah,
Cody was one of the guys that I passed, and I was like, I passed Cody Harris.
Yeah, so I mean, he finished 25th. Yeah, so that's why he dropped several spots. So we'll go back to. Are you drawing it up, Nick?
I think the number 6 has to go in the freezer, or at least on.
Yeah,
the
I mean that's a -4.
You're right. 6 shit. The 6 is well. Where did he finish before? Do we know?
So he finished 4th at Road America, but he didn't run at Pocono, and he finished 29th at Nashville. So this is a guy who won in his first 5 starts, had 5 top 10s and 3 top 5s, and then he turned that in the last 4 races. 1 did not start, 2 finishes 25th or worse, and then that 4th place finish. So yeah, he's pretty much as cold as it gets right there. So yeah, throw him in there.
If a Mara Motorsports car passes you, you go in the freezer. That's just a golden rule. Golden rule.
What happens when you wreck a Mara Motorsports car? Do you throw the 1 in there too? I don't know.
Ooh. Oh, I don't think it's cold though, because he didn't wreck me though.
He finished 5th.
Yeah. Technically, he could be right around here, not in the microwave, but around the microwave.
I think if they wreck you, or if someone's getting roasted because they've done something real bad, we have to burn the number.
I've got a lighter right here. I can literally
bring that in for next week.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Get a lighter ready because we have to torch people. That's going to be the
paper is going to get hurt. Yeah, absolutely.
Or like when you're burning, when we're burning either Thomas George or Stove or Steve Durham, we'll just burn their number in front of while we're burning them.
Stove is just ashes at this point. He doesn't even need a number written anywhere.
Okay.
All right. Who we got next? The suspense is killing me.
Adam de Blasio.
Racecraft. Learn it.
Yeah. I passed Adam de Blasio, so he's cold too. I passed him.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say he only lost 1 spot in the power rankings, but if you passed him, then I think he does.
You know who I didn't pass? And he says it should be in the microwave. I didn't pass Liam because when I tried passing him, I got turned into almost a wall. But I did not successfully pass him the whole race. I passed those other 2 guys on the list, so I'm curious to see if he's in the power rankings. He's one more good run away from definitely getting in there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What number is Adam? He's 21, isn't he?
He's 21. I guess
chuck him in the freezer immediately.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, if Nick Mara's passing you, you're going in the freezer.
Yeah, he ain't coming out.
Roll.
I'll pull it right now.
If it's a legit pass, you're going in.
Cold as fuck. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Next.
What are we going
okay, who's next? Who's going somewhere?
Oh,
this one hurts. This is the lowest he's been in the standings. He had 10 straight top 10s in his last 3 races, 30th, 10th, and 30th. He's cold.
I don't think he's
he
quite
is
ready for the
100%
freezer.
cold.
I don't think he's ready for the freezer, though. Wait, hang
Really?
on. Wait.
He
Two
dropped
30th place finishes in the last 3 races after 10
wait,
top
wait,
10s.
wait.
I think he was freezing cold.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Well,
true.
hold on. Where's my? I broke
We'll give him the
magnets.
Kyle Larson setup for New Hampshire. He'll be fine. He'll be back.
Will he be? Is he still your teammate, Grant?
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
Oh,
he hasn't
yeah.
sold him
Yeah.
to
Okay.
Kaczynski yet.
Okay, Grant. You're going. He's going to go around the freezer. He's not going in the.
He's gonna,
He's one more
he's
cold
not
run
in
away
yet.
from going in the freezer. Actually, wait a second. I did pass Michael Araya as well. He is going in the freezer. I passed him. Rules is rules. Rules is rules. I think I passed him twice before he wrecked. So sorry, he's going in.
Well, if he's in the freezer, I don't want to know where I'm at. So
You, I didn't pass you. You almost
You're not
passed
on the radar. You're not on the radar here, unfortunately, Grant.
Oh, that's just a burn.
Oh, wow. That's ruthless.
Yeah. The micro.
We're talking top 10 here, right? We're talking top
They're-
10, yeah.
They're just racing to get in the microwave from now on. That's what they're racing for. That's
Yes.
what everybody's doing. Yeah.
New ambitions. I think we'll
If I
see
win a
Eberhard
race-
stop wrecking because he wants to be in the microwave. You know, we'll see a change in culture and performance.
that's my new motivation. So if I win a race and Evan's like, like what was your motivation, or do you want to thank anybody? Well, I just want to thank you for motivating me to get in the microwave. I don't even care about
Thank
being in
you.
the playoffs. I just want to get in the microwave.
We're going to the microwave, baby.
You'll be like, that was a great win, but I just really hope that I got hot enough to get in Nick's microwave.
Yeah.
Nick's.
Exactly. Instead of a
Ratchet.
winner sticker, I'm gonna put a little microwave.
Yeah, that's
No,
right.
no
Yes.
further context
That's
required.
genius.
Just I really
That's
hope
a
I was
great
hot
idea.
enough to get in the microwave. In Nick's
That's a great
microwave.
idea. Danson, are you gonna have 3 microwave stickers on your car next week?
I think so. I'm going to have to. I like that
Let's
idea.
ask Evan if that can be our thing. Like instead of winner stickers, we have microwave.
Yeah, microwave stickers.
Microwaves,
Heat up, baby.
The red microwaves. Hell
Who
yeah.
knew
Not
this?
any
Who knew this
microwave,
stuff?
Nick's microwave. Yes.
Yeah, who knew this $20 piece of shit microwave that was marked down from 75 was going to literally live its best life? I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going.
Nick, you get a break, Nick. No movement here for Nick Silver in 7th. I think we missed him 2 weeks ago. We got him in here. He had an okay run. I think he finished 19th. His average finish was 11th over the last 3 races. So solid 7th place. Nothing crazy. No movement for Nick.
I know as well.
A little hot. I don't think he's the microwave, but he had a 6th place finish after a couple average finishes. Is Kyle Trudell, who finished 6th last week. So I don't know. I mean, moving from not ranked to 6th is quite the move, but at the same time, I don't know if I'd consider that hot. So
No.
Nick's like, I don't want to put anyone in the microwave.
He's just in the cupboard right now. He's just being stored away, waiting.
Yeah, he's stored away. He's there. A lot of us. We're there. Not really doing a whole lot, but we're there.
So Chris Rabel is one of 3 drivers who's ran the last 3 races who has an average finish of 10th or better. So he's got a 9.7 average finish. He finished 7th last week, 15th in Road America, and 7th at Pocono. I don't know if you're not challenging for the wins. I don't know if you're going in the microwave yet, right? It's very elite company in the microwave, right?
He's in the bad books with me. I was already the walking wounded, and he finished me off in that last little run coming to the finish. Took me from being where did you say you finished? P7?
Yeah.
And he sent me, and then as a result, like you said, he got P7. Liam, who was right behind us, scooted through. He got, I think, 5th, didn't he? And then I got fucked. So just on that alone, he's not going in the microwave. I'm putting my foot down on that one.
Okay.
Sorry,
No,
guys.
he's not in the microwave.
Hold it, Nick. I know you. Maybe
It's
you're
just
drafting with
9.7. It's not microwavable.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, you look at the average finish over the last 3 races, and again, 9.7 is legit. Of anyone who's run the last 3 races, is the 3rd best. So I think we were talking about parity in the league earlier. There's a lot of parity. The same guys aren't finishing up front, except for maybe these few at the top of the power rankings. So we'll go through The top 4.
Oh wow.
Agnew Phillip. I think I looked at every time I add him in here, I'm like, why did he escape here? And it's because he didn't run Nashville. But in his last 4 starts, he finished 4th at Sonoma, 29th at Pocono, which everybody had a lot of issues at, 6th at Road America, and 2nd last week. I think that's borderline microwave. I don't know, the 6th and the 2nd last 2 races.
I'm going to need to see one more. I'm going to need to see one.
No, I think you can. I think you can sit him on the microwave. I think he's.
Yeah, right. I'll sit him on the microwave. If he has a good run next week, he's going in the microwave.
Yeah,
definitely. You give me a top 5, Agnew. You're going in.
Is that our first on the microwave? First on the microwave, okay.
It's not going to stick. It's not.
That's right.
You put it right next to it.
There you go. On top with the bananas.
There you go. Perfect.
So on top of the bananas means you're like right almost.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right and ready.
Yeah, you're close with your bananas.
Okay, top 3.
Okay.
Oh, I guess Andrew can come out of. Oh no, hang on. Where did he finish?
He didn't finish
26.
good.
Yeah.
Nah, check it.
Not
Straight back in.
Straight back in. A big number. It's the only legible number here.
I feel conflicted when it comes to Drew, right? So he ran up front all race. He could have easily won the race, and then he had the late race contact from Nick Cohan,
That's true, but
which I think.
Why did he pit?
Yeah, I think we'll talk to him about it next week. He was respectful in that sense. So I think Danson, you went from 7th or 8th to 13th on the finish there. There were quite a few people who didn't even have a front end that were up there in the top 10 and decided to stay out. We're just like, hey, we got 5 laps to go. Let's go for it. And Drew decided to pit and was respectful in that manner. Was like, I'm not going to win. So
it seemed like his car was that broken though. I don't think he was that broken. But also, I feel like I could have held on for like a P7, P8 if not for the contact that I got with Chris. So yeah, I'm surprised that he did take that stop. I feel like that might have been frustration at that point. Well, I think he was frustrated because he missed out on the win. Which is understandable.
We were talking about that too. We were shocked. I think you thought maybe there was some pit strategy there, and I was like, well, nobody else is pitting. I'm way back here. I see nobody's pitted, so I don't think this is pit strategy. But yeah, I can't move him because he's still top 3 or 4 every single race. He's going to be there.
I am putting him in the freezer though, just for some controversy for next week. So
wait. I don't have the video yet. I'm sorry.
I put him in. He's already in.
He's in there.
The second straight week. Who would have thought? Second straight week in the freezer for number 1 in our points.
It's so the rankings are so harsh that if you're Drew and you don't win, you're in the freezer. Like, we expect you to win every week.
That's a tough world.
Yeah.
High expectations.
So we got 2 left. I mean, I think with who's left, I don't think there's much to talk about, right?
So definitely Brandon is P2 and me P1. Thank you very much. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that 13th place finish got you first. I think you and Drew, I mean, if Drew finishes the race in a solid position and you still finish 13th, that flips. But, Drew finishing 26th. But you were up there in the top 5 at the end, right?
Yeah,
and
even if we finish in the spots we were running, because he was right there, the top sort of 2. I at best was probably looking like a P4, P5.
Yeah,
I think you'd swap us around based on that anyway. Because realistically, the only times Drew has not had good results is because he's been destroyed.
Yeah.
Once was the false flag
Pocono.
at Pocono, and the other one was this one here where the wrecking ball came in. So, I think realistically, Drew's always going to be up there.
But you look at the numbers since Drew's last win at Dover in a time where he had won 3 of 4, just like Brandon. You have won 3 times, Danson. And I think Brandon has won 3 times as well. Yeah. So I definitely think that I don't think there's much controversy at the top here. 1, 2, 3 are obviously the 3 of you.
I need to know about the false flag.
Yeah.
So it's like when to start a war. You deliberately bomb your own ship to justify public support for a war. But if we recall, it was Steve, Reck, and Andrew at Pocono. So that was just to make sure that things didn't look, people were thrown off the scent. So that's all that was.
Yeah, exactly. It's the perfect plan. I forgot we talked about that with him for like 10 minutes. He basically was like, "Yeah, it's exactly what I did." And I didn't know we had called it. I didn't know we had called it something already. The false flag.
Yeah.
We get a couple of those a year, we're in good shape. But
we're coming up with so many nicknames tonight.
Honestly, it's insane. It really is insane. Yeah, Emotion Mara is my favorite nickname of all. So I'm
gonna change my name on the top of my car on the side rail. I give you Emotion Mara. Yeah.
This is 34. Obviously, he's hot. Danson, you're not going in the microwave yet. You'd have to have another solid oval run. Don't look at there, but
I was going to say Danson needs another road course on the schedule. That's what he needs.
I think I can be up with the bananas because I'm bananas.
Yes, your obsession with the Steve Durham Phoenix incident is bananas, Danson. So yes, I will put you up there with the bananas. Yes, sold. Okay, good power rankings. That was fun. Yeah. Grant, now you've got new motivation to get there for next week. And I like Jeff Gordon, so and 24. So I want to make your number really legit. And speaking of that, because I know we're probably going to have to wrap up, but you showed us just something on the Discord that Sam made that was really cool. Talk a little bit about what that is, and I love it.
Well, so here I'm gonna explain the full story. So I told y'all I had really crappy stuff. My computer barely worked last year. So I didn't really like my teammates know this, but Sam has been the ultimate teammate. He was like, he has a computer business. So he's like, man, Grant, I know you're poor and your equipment sucks. I'm going to help you. So we made a deal and he hooked me up with a computer.
Yeah.
And I had my friend Corey design the guy who paints all my schemes. Well, there's two guys, Corey Blevins and Hasib Designs. They paint my cars. Yes. But Corey, he was like, I'm going to design something. He sent it to Sam, and then that's on the side of my computer. And then Sam just added some little Plan B cars so I could stick on the computer. So it was really cool of him. He's helped me a lot with iRacing and just, life stuff. He got me on Bitcoin. Which has been pretty cool. So he's the ultimate teammate for sure.
Yeah. Every time somebody gets something cool, Dan said, like, why don't I have this?
Mm-hmm. Well, if you let us buy your team and have a room in the house, we'll have like a little flat out room.
Yeah.
and then we'll hook you up with some stickers.
Yeah. And if you complete the merger with Mara Motorsports, I mean, I know a guy, the guy who started this podcast, that can get you all of the die-cast and apparel and cheap water bottles that you could ever ask for. Okay, so
what I
honestly, let's just see. We can just get a mansion and we're good. We have everything covered.
Yeah, exactly, and a stepmother included. Yeah.
So what I will say though is that I am working with RSR's Santa Claus, which is Tom Morano, who is a god. He's a blessing to the league. Awesome. And I know Grant, you have some nice things to say about Tom too. We're working with him on getting an after the turn store set up. Certainly, we're not looking to use it as a method for any sort of profit, but I'm going to buy some after the turn stuff. And certainly I look at Danson. I know you've been wanting some free anything, so we'll get you an after the turn shirt. We can all rep after the turn.
I still want the Matt Danson championship race winning shirt.
That'd be sick.
That. I know. I want it. I told Matt
to shirt.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, with like you doing the burnout, and then that's what I want. I want it to happen. So I mean, it's actually not as hard as I think we're acting like it is. It's pretty simple if you just put in like 10 minutes of work, and do it yourself. Yeah, but you don't want to make your own shirt. Like somebody's got to make it for you and then print it.
Exactly. I think that should be part of the winning, like the prize. Like the trophy is sick. but I should have got the shirt as well.
You know
the UFC belt for the 2021 RSR Sim Seats champion only costs like $1,000. You should at least throw in a $15 shirt.
Yeah.
Grant's sponsor is what? Circle Plan B Sales, and as you probably know, you got to get enough pre-orders to make the car. And I just have a feeling that they're not. I don't know if the Matt Danson Winter Championship diecast.
My car up. What's the minimum? What's the minimum pre-orders? Because I could probably get that myself.
I think it's like 500 or something. It's a lot of pre-orders.
Consider it done.
You only have so many
I know this won't happen, but if I win the championship, Evan can keep the money for the trophy. I just want your microwave.
I'll give you my microwave. I may clean it out unless you want like some of me.
No, leave everything Yeah.
I want the nicely drawn 24 inside of it.
I'll you know what? I'll get Sam to make something like a template to put on the side of the microwave that's like Jeff Gordon based. Yeah. And I'll get some Plan B stickers and I'll put them on there too.
Joke's on you, Sam. Just want
if you win a race and you want the microwave, I'll ship it to you. I'll go take another one from Walmart. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But there you go.
So I did want to talk about that at some point before we wrap up. I know, Grant, you are running Flat Out Motorsports. You have the partnership with Circle B. Can you tell us a little bit about how that happened? Because I think that's pretty awesome.
Well, I just got tired of running Jeff Gordon cars, so I was like, I don't know. I was like, I'm just gonna try asking people like who wants to be on the car because Evan, like being in his league, I was like, well, somebody might want to jump on. I was like, I'm not very valuable. I don't feel like I should be paid really, but I was like, I might can get some free shirts or something out of it. And I reached out to Brent, who's over Plan B, and he wasn't really interested at first. He was like, anytime I do this kind of stuff, I just get bombarded with people. And then we kind of worked out something where he did a deal with me where I got like some clothes and a bunch of different stuff he sent me. And then we kind of worked out a deal like similar companies where they'll sponsor everybody kind of on iRacing. Like if you run your car, you get like a deal. So I kind of helped him out with that. And that's kind of how it got started. And, now half the league looks like my car. So it was a good deal. He's a super cool dude. And it's good to see like, the Plan B cars all over iRacing. So,
are there hard feelings there? Because I know we signed on with Makoni Setup Shop. Nick goes and wins the Clash, and then Gary Weaver is driving the Makoni Setup Shop car.
Gary, Jesus Christ, this is my
there's a little bit of a fence there. Like we're representing Makoni Setup Shop in RSR. So yes, it always goes back to the Clash dance, and you can say in the podcast here, we know it all revolves around the Clash. It's the only reason we have any confidence. But anyways, Grant, so are there any like, I found it first sense of ownership when it comes to Circle B?
No, I mean, like when me and Brent were talking about it, he was like, I'll sponsor you and I'll send you stuff. We had our own personal deal there. But he was like, obviously everybody on iRacing is going to be running this. Are you still interested? And I said, yeah. I was like, it's a cool deal. So there's no hard feelings. And hey, I mean, Brandon and Nick and that whole team that's running Plan B, they're doing way better than I am. So I'm glad somebody's winning some races for them.
Well, I'll correct you actually. So Brandon is racing after the turns car, and he won it. It was pretty sexy how he won for us this week. I can't believe I didn't show this yet, but I think we all need to take some notes from Brandon. First off, the car is beautiful. Mm-hmm. This burnout is amazing. He's had too much practice with his burnouts. He literally drags this almost to turn one. Danson's shaking his head. I think this is pretty great. So
there is going to be a race version of that going out. Matt's already made copies for all of us.
I'm working on the production diecast. Yeah, we got to hit our minimum orders of 15. We're already at 17, so we're good. I'm kidding, of course. But look at this. He's dragging it all the way through. He's going to continue here. Brandon's winning too much to be this good at the donuts. So what are you going to do about that, Danson?
That sucks. Yeah, look at that.
It's still going.
He just lives in the microwave.
Yeah, he's going to be in the microwave for quite a while. I don't think he's coming out. He's just getting hotter.
Yeah. It's wait, did Nick get to do a burnout after the Clash?
So I could pull that up. It was
No. I don't want people. This is gonna give people. This is gonna give people the ammunition they want. I didn't bring it up this time. Plus, it was really bad. Okay, fine.
No.
Show
That's
me.
what I was gonna say.
Bring it
We're
up.
not gonna
Bring it
actually
up.
show the finish. We're gonna show Nick's burnout, which is just as
Yeah.
great. I think we'll all have fun with it.
Danton, have you seen it? Have you seen it, Danton? Okay. You're gonna laugh. You guys are gonna laugh. It's really bad.
So I'll work on getting here. I got some ads here, and then I'll find.
Oh,
it.
that's okay. No, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it if I don't have to see it.
Well, I know you don't want to see it. Yeah, I'm gonna get it, guys.
Nick, do you want to tell us a bit more about Atlanta?
I don't care anymore. I'm over Atlanta. I'm over it. I'm ready for New Hampshire. I'm going to get zero practice because I'm going to the actual New Hampshire this weekend.
Oh.
So
Nick, we were so bad at New Hampshire. I don't know why you're looking forward to the RSR
I was
race
good.
at all.
I finished 17th.
At the winter series?
Who was on pole? Who was on pole in the winter series at Loudon?
Dancing, here it is. I don't know. It doesn't matter. This is better. This is so bad. I already had won. Watch. Just watch. It's so bad. That's exactly. I was trying to hear. I'm like crying.
Yes, exactly.
It's so bad.
That would be like Natalie Decker.
Yeah,
So I imagine that's what would happen. Or Rick Ware.
Don't even look anymore. Let's go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Did you slap the wall so nobody know about your illegal parts on the car?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I did. I was like, this car's not legal. I'm hitting the wall. So.
Oh my gosh! Surely all you had to do was just like think to yourself, okay, how do I normally drive? How do I normally enter the corner? Because you're normally backwards anyway. So
Yeah.
easy peasy. There you got yourself spinning out. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
You must have had traction control. You had traction control or something going on. There was some tricks. That's crazy.
It was so bad. Oh man, that's the part that we could relive from now on.
How does that's got to turn into a nickname? Like I don't.
No. The nickname's organic. Okay, you can't just come up
That's
with
true.
a
You
nickname.
can't afford.
Yeah. No, we're not watching it again. No, we're not watching it again. What are you watching? Why are we watching it again? We got to.
Yes, we are. That was so fantastic. I think everybody needs to watch that one more time.
No, we laughed it off the first time. Let's fix it out of it now. The car looks more yellow in this picture. I will say that. I feel like you changed it a little bit. I had some damage on my right rear, so I was already probably not going to pass tech.
It impacted the burnout. Yeah.
I'd like a VRS session to practice burnouts from now on. Give me an hour to practice. That was my favorite part right there. That's body slamming to the wall. That's going to be my move when I win.
Too bad you didn't have a motion rig. That's when you.
I know. I guess I would have been like just jerked to the left like super hard. So okay.
I think Sam made a comment that I would have.
New package is airtight. Okay, I think we're done. But before we go, Grant, thanks so much for being on the show today. We hope you enjoyed it. I know that I did. But before we go,
Nick, I'm sorry. We got one more segment we have to go through.
What?
I know everybody's tired. We got to go through the five with Bowie for New Hampshire. We did not get to it. Yeah, we got 5 with Bowie.
Probably won last week.
Everybody should have listened last week. I think there was a lot of skepticism
about
that
in the post race
running at the bottom. Yeah, and he did throw shade, rightfully so. Number one, patience. 2, stay
like this podcast and ending this podcast. I think that's
no patience. Stay open-minded to using different lanes. I think there was a more open-mindedness during the race in Atlanta. There's a lot of different lanes used there. So I guess we'll see that again this week. Watch for the dive bombs. I know specifically for me, Daniel Eberhardt made at least one dive bomb on me. Nick, we were 3 wide there for a second. Almost wrecked all 3 of us. So that was pretty great. watch for those. I'm paranoid about those in itself already. Watch for tire spin off the corner. I'm assuming with old tires is going to be even worse. And then think about setting up the pass before even attempting it. Yes. So I think that kind of even goes with number one. Be patient before you make a move. So
number 6.
I feel like he's anticipating a very messy, ugly race because some of those are basically just please don't wreck. Essentially, like when you boil
I think
them
after
down,
Atlanta, that's a valid concern, right?
Watch for tire spin. Think about setting the pass before you do it. Like and patience. But like almost all 5 of those are directed towards making sure that people don't drive like the R word in this race.
Don't drive like you've been driving. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was a correct
crazy.
shot on 8.
You should probably post this graphic every day leading up to New Hampshire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, if we reiterate it, we'll do it. Yes,
I'm like, I don't think
this will be posted at least once.
Yeah, actually, let's take that and use it every single week for the rest of the year. There's Brandon's segment.
I really wish that the RSR didn't run like the same tracks that official had done, and we do it like after all that. If we're going to do the same tracks, I wish it was the week ahead.
Well, it works for those who aren't practicing, right? But it does help people who actually are practicing during the race.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I need to go in it with like, if we all haven't done a week of practice, then we're all, I'm on the same level.
That's why you won the Winter Series Championship, because there was none of that practice beforehand, right?
Exactly. It was all based on talent, just raw talent. And you see what happens.
Pure talent means no practice.
Well, I will say this one last time. The Clash, we had no Clash practice. So you're right.
Let's have a look at those names that you beat, though, in that list.
No, thank you.
There were Farina.
It wasn't a stunning top 10. How about that?
Andrew was not in that race, was he?
Yes, he crashed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I beat him.
That's crazy.
Go back and educate yourself, Mr. Danson.
Yeah.
Nick beat the elite competition.
Sam, you did not teach me. Okay, hang on. There's a very outlandish claim in the chat from Sam saying that him and Braden taught me how to go fast at Vegas, which is absolutely not the case.
You're trying to take credit for your championship. Yeah.
Well, Sam was in the practice session that we did, but he was more just like he was like an in-race reporter. He was like the Dylan Coyle of the practice session, just watching me and Braden go around. And I don't know why he's taking any credit whatsoever, but it's okay. I appreciate you, Sam. I actually no, I hate you, Sam, because you didn't make me a fancy thing for my computer like you made for Grant. So you can get fucked.
Different team.
I suppose. Maybe can I buy the team so that Sam can make?
Sure.
We'll play that next week. We'll take that for next week. As the Price is Right.
We're
RSR team edition, right?
Flat out.
You will be bought out. What will happen tomorrow, Motorsports? I feel like something's going to happen to us. Like we're going to sell each other off. So maybe Matt, you go to Grant's team, or you go half in on Grant, and I'll join my Altus Esports as my fate has it for 2022.
I'll sell Mara Motorsports, which will just be me.
You can sell it to Kaczynski, and it'll just be a name.
Yeah.
I have an idea. So what we should do, you should buy out Flat Out, and we're gonna call it Motion Motorsports, and everybody on the team is gonna have a motion rig.
Oh yes. Hell yeah!
Flat Out Motion Motorsports. Yes.
Oof.
Well, that's gonna be part of the name then.
Yeah.
Danson's
like
right there. That's quite a deal.
All right, well,
we gotta wrap it up.
Nick, you're the host, so wrap this shit up.
We got the schedule too, so we got Drew on next week. Please watch. We'll have a lot of fun with Drew. I think a lot of people will wait for Drew. It'll be a good time. We'll have fun.
We got to get some good guests. So Grant, now I come to you in the final. Obviously, thank you so much for joining us. I enjoyed the banter. I hope you did too. Who do you need to thank other than us for being on the show today?
Just Michael, Bradley, Joey, Sam, my teammates at Flat Out, or currently Flat Out. It might be Motion Motorsports by New Hampshire. Who knows?
Flat Out by the end of the week for sure. Deal pending.
Plan B, Corey Blevins, Hasid for painting all my cars. I guess that's it. Thanks for having me on here. And TobyChristie.com for sponsoring one of our cars as well. So just appreciate people for sponsoring us, and thanks to Evan for putting on such an awesome league. He's doing a great job. That's honestly the only reason anybody has sponsored my team, honestly, is just due to him. So just thanks to him, and I'm glad to be here. And thanks to you guys for doing this podcast. I think it's so cool to do this and kind of get to know the different drivers by watching. So I think it's a really cool deal.
Love that. And we, as we work through our guests, I saw it was a little bit of a shorter list. We're probably going to start having return guests at some point. So, if you want to be on it, we definitely would love to have you back in the future. So, and if you say yes right now, we are going to hold you to it. So
I'm coming for that microwave. I'm coming for the
all right.
so, yeah.
By the next time you're on, this microwave will literally be sitting beside me and probably leading the open in to the after the turns, I think. But Danton, who do you need to thank? Us for taking up 3 hours of your day.
I'll thank Matt for his great run at Atlanta. He did amazing, much better than Nick.
I was doing just fine. For a while there, okay? So
That's true. I think exactly like Grant was saying that, like, obviously Evan puts on. It's pretty sick to go back and watch the broadcast and see how clean the presentation of everything is, and having the actual voice of eNASCAR, commentate our stuff is pretty crazy, and we're just a bunch of, monkeys out there wrecking every lap. It probably makes it pretty boring for Evan, but it's cool to be a part of. But obviously we've got Virtual Racing School, Logitech G, Astro Gaming, Cube Controls, Racetech Seats, and Owned Live. We've got those great partners of Logitech G Altus Esports, which Nick, you will never ever be on.
Whoa!
I thought you were about to give us something good there.
Spirits. Oh, man, I'm going to have a one race
sports for you.
It's just,
exactly.
You can stay on Motion Motorsports.
Well, we'll have to buy Logitech Altus Esports. We'll have to figure out what that price is next week as well. If we buy Logitech Altus Esports, Nick will have to be a driver for them.
Yeah, exactly. I just want a one race deal. I just want a one race deal. Give me a Ross Chastain, a 3-race deal. You can give me a full season deal, whatever you think is appropriate to show what I'm worth. That's whatever you think. And, okay, Matt, who should we thank? We have new people to thank this week.
We got to thank our sponsors. So obviously McCody Setup Shop, who's been on Nick's car for the first half of this year. Mercury Energy, who was on my car for the 12th place finish this week. As well as Gammadell Technologies, who, their parent company sponsoring me all year. And big thanks to Sim Racing Studio for jumping on board for the end of the year. If you missed our announcement, go back earlier in the broadcast. Nick's got a new hot number 40 hot rod for the end of the year. Hopefully it brings some good results. So thank you to Sim Racing Studio for jumping on board with us. Thanks to the league and everybody who's listening. Super appreciative. If you enjoyed the podcast today, please follow us on Twitch. And thanks for participating in the chat. It's been super entertaining. And thanks to Evan and RaceSpot TV for everything they've done for the league and for the opportunity that we're going to get here in a couple weeks. So everybody watch the IROC race on the 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern on RaceSpot TV. We're going to be calling it. So very excited for that opportunity and thankful for it. So thanks for that.
Okay. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to kind of just wrap it up here. So thanks so much, guys. Really fun episode. Yep. Grant, did you have something?
Oh, I just said Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. No, the viewers. I'm not going to give the viewers what they want, but I promise I'll bring it up next week for sure.
You think this is the guy who's going to lead the commentary team? This guy.
I am. I'm going to have zero alcohol, I think.
He's all right. 10-4. We'll see how we go. We'll tune in. We'll find out. Awkward answers. Yeah, exactly.
If there's, I don't even know what I was going to say, but there can't be any awkward silences. I'll just fill in Atlanta talk. I got enough Atlanta and Clash talk to fill any voids if it's a crash fest. Okay, so
true.
All right.
This reminds me about back in Atlanta when I drove up from Where the fuck are you?
28-17. The drive of the year at RSR. Okay.
Wow, that's crazy. That's 11 positions. That's insane.
Yes, I know there's sarcasm behind that, but
you're not the greatest driver in iRacing.
Okay, Danson, I know that. That's why I'm talking to Altus Esports, trying to work a deal together. Okay, thank you for seeing the potential. Matt, sound clip that, please. Clip that sound bit and say straight from the source.
I'll put the filter on that. We'll remove the sarcasm as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think that's very removable. So, all right,
wrap it up.
Yes, I'm wrapping it up. Okay, jeez, I'm the lead, not you. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. Looking forward to next Monday night, or Monday night for the race, Tuesday night for the podcast. Have a great night, everybody. Talk to you next week.